Whatever.
So happy there, Jimmy.
It's Sunday night, you know what I mean? Gotta hit us at a low point. Wow.
You're really cutting into my World of Warcraft time.
Oh, hey, you mean your nephew's World of Warcraft.
Flexible and
My
play.
nephew.
Harbortown will take your games to.
You don't play video games, we're adults.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, if we weren't we supposed to talk like the adults and the peanuts? You know what I mean? I never got that voice when I got older. I don't know where those adults are.
Yeah, but you see the kids hear you that way now.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
what
what
that is. Yeah.
That's what we heard. Now you watch
Exactly.
the cartoons. Now you can understand what they're saying. It's not very pretty.
Mike, you're just going to fit in just fine here. I can see that already, man.
Yeah.
This
I
crew.
hope so. I hope I'm not the square peg going into the circle.
No.
You got a hammer, don't worry.
Ooh, flirting already.
Hey, Carlos. Hey, guys.
Hey, Carlos.
Having dinner right now.
Oh,
that's good.
That's okay. It's okay, man. Good to see you on. Just
Hey,
started-
Jason, long time no see still.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm not getting a
From the
camera
edge.
anytime.
Whoops, I missed my catch there. Oh, gosh,
I was
Casey.
trying to find something to put an avatar up for me, but an old picture or something.
Yeah, but you sound great, so that's
I'll have
good.
something for you during our stream.
That's cool. You know, at first I was looking at that Corbomite maneuver dummy, so...
Oh, that's great. Richie Cunningham's brother.
No, the one he used.
Right. I'm just saying he was the kid in that one.
Yeah, I could use that, yeah.
Yeah, that's a classic. I forget what his real name is. Something whatever Howard, right? I don't know his. He's been
Yeah,
in like
well,
1,000 shows.
You know, he's been a big time, bit part actor.
I love him in Tango and Cash. He's like a crazy guy, cellmate of one of them. I think he was. He's in a ton. He was in Rock and Roll High School too.
Yeah, he's just a really little guy, so...
I don't know how many more people or less people are going to be joining us, but Jimmy, would you rather be Alice or would you rather be Paul Lynn right now?
Michael's Paul Lynn right now.
For me, he's in the Paul Lynn / Alice slot.
I feel like I'm on Hollywood Squares.
That's it.
That show, you know?
Carlos, say hello to. I think you know everyone else, but say hello to Mike Disney.
Hey, Carlos, nice to
Hey,
meet
Mike,
you.
how you doing, man?
I'm doing
Pleasure
great.
to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
Yeah, I just caught Mike's... I just caught one of Mike's shows so far on Twitch.
I
You were
appreciate it.
illustrating you were inking in a dragon.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was doing that. It was supposed to be with another streamer, but things get other people's computers get a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I might have taught you off of one of the other ones. I watch a bunch of the different people off of research.
All right, let's hit that one.
Before we go live, Frank, thanks for raiding us last night, man. You brought quite a crew with you the other night. That was really nice of you to do.
Oh, I'm glad we caught you on.
Yeah, it was awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You know, which stream are you from, Frank?
Nightheart Gaming.
Oh, okay.
Hey, yeah, if you guys can make sure you link all your social medias and stuff.
I will link it all. I'll link everyone. I promise.
I'd like to give everybody a little support, because this is a really honor to be a part of this. So I really appreciate it.
I can see dice and more dice.
Super pleased to be working with everybody on this. This is going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's been it was a fun miniature to paint, a fun project, and I'm a huge fan of D&D, of course. So without D&D, I wouldn't have done any of what I'd be doing today. So
Let me get my product placement and right.
Oh, look at that. Look,
The right.
Yeah.
Gary Cole.
Oh.
Time is coming, boys and girls. Time is coming.
Yeah. Carlos, your win games are filling up already. That is awesome.
I can't believe
Duff.
I've got only a couple spots. Oh, brutal.
I know.
You're the most legendary.
I know he's got the Pittsburgh thing, Carlos. But
I know and I'm not even in their division.
Couple of.
I'm a Lions fan too.
Oh, good lord! It's like double poison, man.
Oh, it's bad. It's bad over here.
so Casey,
Yeah.
I got
Just Chicago. I'm a Blackhawks and not Bears fan.
Oh,
Just
I got
like
Bears.
Gygax, I might add.
Casey, I got Jeffrey Dauberpule and John Dubois so far for Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Shieldlands and Furiundi, I think they were, something like that.
What's up, David Leonard? What's up, Amanda? Wow, this is an awesome vid. Everyone give Frank a high five for this, please. It's so fantastic.
Yeah, this intro vid.
Digital
amazing.
Frank, you gotta put your hand up too.
Hands up.
Yeah, I put on the screen.
What the hell, Frank?
You know, gotta have that background of
It's delayed.
Anna's map too back there.
Well, that was a little bit of a help.
Yeah, I was pretty blown away the first time I saw it.
Still.
How do you like your new technology, Jimmy? I know you just got some last time we spoke.
What's that? Sorry, I was doing something. What? Sorry.
That's okay. That's how you like your new technology that you just got. I know that when we spoke, you just gotten some new stuff.
I have several new things. Well, most of the stuff I have the streaming side, but I bought a bunch of stuff that we're going to be taking actually out there to GaryCon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're going to be running the 2 tables virtual streaming stuff going on. Not virtual, some stuff there we're going to be streaming, but running virtual tables at GaryCon. But then I'm going to be doing some interviews and stuff like that. So yeah, but stuff that I have for my rig here. Oh my
Mike,
gosh!
I apologize. I should have given you a VIP badge. My bad.
Makes me look pretty.
You slacker.
You always forget something, man.
Slacker.
Yep. Sorry to interrupt that conversation, gentlemen. I did not mean to do that there. Hey, what's up, Tom? There we go. Got a whole crew on tonight, guys. It'll be filling up here. Give me 1 second. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Of course, if I pop it up onto my PC, I'll crash the whole stream probably, and then we don't want that happening, right, Anna?
I can share something for you, and that will take.
I don't hear you knocking on any wood there.
Oh man!
Like bang bang.
I'll do it.
When we did the 576 map on Legends of Lore, I was scared to death that it was just.
Oh yeah, but
happen.
it kind of worked. Yeah. I didn't crash it, but the first time I shared something, the stream went down 1 second afterwards. I just pressed share and I saw
It was
Jay just disappeared and
the
the
whole
channel
thing
just went.
died.
Yep.
So preferences. It's under affiliate, isn't it? No, it's not. It's under roles. Give me 1 second. Oh, we got a half a minute here.
Yeah, no pressure.
I hate the way Twitch changed up all the.
For some reason,
Locations and
it's
stuff.
not letting me host you guys.
Really?
Yeah,
That's bizarre.
I've typed it in 3 times and it will not.
Drink
Yeah, I had to
away.
actually physically put in the command in his channel name on my chat.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now, and it's not working.
You may have to do the actual host in the. They may change it so you have to go into the setting thing.
Some of
on
it
that
should-
page.
yeah,
I'm
it
trying to
wasn't
get
working
into
either way
that
for
too.
me.
I may not be able to do this.
It's GOSUMBA, right?
Lord Gazumba, all one word.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't.
Okay, there we go.
Rolls.
Dum dum dum. Had to go in.
Almost there. Almost there. 10 seconds.
It's
you're
fine
being a good mood.
Argentinian Malbec.
There we go. VIP. All right. I did it. I'm Rocky. I did it. Okay. What kind of wine does
You're gonna
Tensor
go there, huh?
offer to PCs at the beginning of WG6? That's a Celine mead?
Close, Celine neck to wine.
Oh, good one, Carlos.
Neck to wine is best when it's picked when both moons are blue.
Awesome.
According to Tensor.
Beautiful. That was a good trivia one, definitely. Good evening, everyone. Hello. Welcome to another Gabbin on a Sunday night. Hey, there's no Super Bowl anymore, so football's over, and Game of Thrones is over. So, I don't know what we're gonna do with ourselves except have some D&D chat time and have some fun here.
Let's Game of Thrones.
Definitely. I have a whole crew on tonight. We're gonna talk a lot about what we're doing on Saturday. Saturday's gonna be a blast. I can't wait. So we're gonna go around the circle, around the square, and just have everyone introduce themselves, talk a little bit about your channel and all, and I'll kick out some shout outs, and then we'll go from there. So Anna, start it off. We'll go around. We'll end up with Mike in the middle. How's that sound?
Okay, I'm Anna Meyer, and I do Greyhawk maps. Basically, that's the reason I'm here. Yep.
Yeah, that's not the only.
And I will be in the game too next week.
Yeah.
Heck
yeah. Absolutely.
Yep. And I kind of live here too, so yeah.
Jimmy.
Hello, folks. Raiders Rejects here. Duff563, running on Twitch and all the other social media sites, and participating in this lovely charity stream coming up Saturday morning. Looking forward to it. But yes, Predators Rejects and Wizards of the Couch. You're seeing a lot more about us. We'll be doing some heavy rotation of stuff at GaryCon coming up. So going to be busy this next month.
It's going to be a fun month, isn't it? Definitely. I cannot wait. Will.
Hey, I'm Will. I'm the head DM over at Wicked Studios LLC on Twitch, and same on Discord, and we got a couple of pages over on Facebook, and that's about it.
Good to see you, Will. And unfortunately, Will's the only DM out of this crew that will not be joining us all at GaryCon as well.
I'm the odd man out.
That's an odd man out, but that, you know. So, hey, Carlos.
Hey, guys. I'm Carlos Lysing from Castle Entertainment. I got the shirt to match. And I'm a DM on that Twitch stream for our company. I publish old school first edition modules, and I'm pleased to be a part of the stream, the charity stream here coming up next week.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on tonight, Carlos. Jason.
Hey, I'm Jason Zavodai. I'm a Greyhawk blogger, a hobbyist. I'm going to be on 4 a.m. for the charity stream with Carlos as DM. I haven't played in a long time, so I'm just hoping not to suck. So
I can tell you guys right away that the character sheet he created for the game is amazing, and you guys, if he plays anything like that, you'll be just fine.
Awesome. I can't wait. I will be there watching. I'm going to try and watch everything. So yeah.
Good luck.
I know. I
You
really
better get a lot of sleep the day
I want to
before,
catch
bro.
up
Yeah.
the thing.
I'll bring you some of that new Coca-Cola energy drink.
This next man needs a little bit of a high five for what he is doing to play in this. So go ahead, Casey.
Hi, my name's Casey Brown. I'm former Bandit Kingdom's Triad member for Living Greyhawk, author of the unofficial Living Greyhawk Bandit Kingdom summary, and I will be playing my Living Greyhawk PC Garn in the adventure. I'm going to drive 4 hours and 45 minutes to go kill things with my half-orc specialty priest of Pelinan.
This is the Bostonian. Yeah. There we go.
That's right. This is his book, Bandit Kingdom Summary, right over
Thank
here.
you.
Available.
We have
Nice. Beautiful.
Casey will have a special announcement to make during the show about it too, which is really awesome. Everyone's stepping up, which is so fantastic. It's so exciting. Absolutely. Frank
Schumacher from Nightheart Gaming. Casey's character sheet, it touched my old school heart when I saw that thing on the screen. But yeah, we'll be we're gonna take the easy hour slot, I guess, for the charity stream, but we're looking forward to it.
And wait till everyone hears all these stories and how they kind of intertwine and all the great, some people will not give away some tricks of the trade if they have some of their players on, but we want to hear some of the juicy tidbits. And last but not least, Mike, first time you've ever been on one of my streams, so welcome.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate the invite. It's an honor being here. My name is Mike Disney. I come from Art of Mike Disney is my Twitch channel, and I paint miniatures, sculpt, do illustrations, try to not be a complete idiot at all times, but sometimes that door is remains open. So, but yep, I painted a miniature for the charity stream. Having a lot of fun, and I'm a huge fan of Dungeons and Dragons. So,
and
wow, I am ashamed to admit that my friend Aaron painted Garn for me back in the day.
Yeah. Well, some of the stuff, Mike's stuff is up now in pics because we wanted to show beyond just the one figure he's done courtesy. He donated his time. So, guys. Let's just really quick chat and say, everyone go through the DMs, please, what your game style is, just to show that it's a full-rounded, now the whole thing is Greyhawk, but what you play, what your style is, and how you're going to be doing it. We'll start with Duff, and we'll just go around this.
Edition, too? You want?
Yeah, absolutely, because just to show the variety we have here, which is really great.
Chaos? Maybe
that's my style.
Players are gonna get messed up.
Yeah, so I am pretty much, since I've started this path, I am a virtual tabletop. I run on Fantasy Grounds. I run mostly 5e and a few other rule sets, but for our discussion tonight and for the charity stream, yes, the session that will be taking place after Carlos's, I have the 8 a.m. Morning slot for you chipper young spry folks who want to be up that early. Then yes, we'll be running 6 players. I'm trying to see if there's anybody here because I haven't released to them exactly what's going on, except for Jay and the folks here know what the show will be about. But all they know so far is they're headed to the mountainous areas where Lost Caverns of Socan took place to attend a festival, and they are on their way. They're actually, what I will reveal, they're all wizards.
Got it, Mom.
Don't know that they are all wizards, but they are headed that way for a festival of reawakening, renewing is what it's called. So that we're looking forward to it. So. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Are you going to talk about the fairy dragons and the unicorns? Right?
Yeah. Well, and I'm infamously known for killing my players. So,
no.
Was it all wizard on purpose, or was that?
That is all wizards on purpose.
So, are they all
awesome? I love
schools, it. Or what's the deal? Are they
say
all
that again now?
Are they all different schools?
They are just got to choose. I gave them basically the rough of the pre-gens were some races and level, and they got to choose. The class I gave them. They were race, and they got to choose their spells. Basically, as though they're living their life on the outskirts of Greyhawk in the vicinity, and this festival flyer shows up on their front door, beckoning them to come to this renewing in this area, the valley area, to possibly be the new protector. That would be in a game of skills and all that to showcase what they know, and they are coming there to possibly take this new position. So that's all they know. So.
That sounds like a hell of a lot of fun, and it sounds very squishy, though.
I also know of a very high-level magic user that just happens to live in that particular area of.
See, it's already beginning.
So, Jimmy, all I asked for was your addition and your play style, but that's okay, man. Because I wanted to go in order. It's all right, man. I know it's late on a Sunday night. right.
right. Okay.
It's all good. No, I'm just busting, man. That was awesome.
It was awesome.
But we'll get back to. We're going to go a little more
We'll
into
get back to
detail on
that.
how we're going to link him in a little bit. So go ahead, Will. Style.
Style? I don't know.
Oh wow! I didn't have an answer either.
That sounds like chaos too.
All right, so
Yeah.
you're a mix of theater of the mind and Roll20.
Definitely, it's virtual and theater of the mind for
Yeah.
sure. As far as so that for sure. And what was the other? Oh, the edition, 5th edition.
I threw everybody off. Sorry, folks.
That's
What I
okay.
No, yeah.
I was getting pumped listening to your description. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, it was good. It was
I
definitely.
just
good.
feel so inadequate after hearing Jimmy. That's what it
Please
is.
no.
I mean, the thing we gotta do is we gotta enjoy this because it's gonna be a long Saturday next week, and I know everyone's taking a lot of time out to do this, and I really appreciate it. And without you guys, I couldn't pull this off myself. So
Yeah, I will say
outta
we're a Roll20 group. We have not made that change over to what's the name of that? Something Grounds.
Oh,
Fantasy Grounds?
Fantasy
Yeah.
Grounds.
Fantasy grounds.
Shots fired,
Wow.
folks. Yeah, we rise
What's
above that.
that thing? Oh no. We use it.
Carlos, how about you?
I'm a strict theater of the mind guy.
Well, that's true.
I'm an old school first edition dungeon master. However, for me, first edition the Grognards get a bad rap for hating everything subsequent to first edition, and I'm not like that at all. I'm kind of a hybrid DM. I've taken concepts from all the editions that follow because I think all D&D is good D&D. It's just tools that some things are better for others than others. You wouldn't use a driver on the putting green, for example. So some editions are better at other things than others. So when you play my game, you'll see a first edition kind of game, first edition rule set, all theater of the mind, but you'll also see some concepts and some kind of vibes from other editions as well.
It's definitely an exciting time, and I know Carlos and I did a joint adventure at Gen Con, and I kind of threw Carlos a little bit out of his comfort zone with he got the mad out and all, and I was like,
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah, it was. But Carlos's games at Gary Con, only Diamond and Platinum have been able to sign up, and one of Carlos's games is almost filled already.
I can't believe it. I
Wow.
know.
Yeah.
It's
That's
very
amazing.
gratifying.
Congratulations.
Yeah, Carlos is like the in-demand DM there. So that Sidwee and that cheer, real quick, if you notice, I have a blank Heroes Assist for Charity. That's the first official donation for the charity event.
Awesome.
I am
Woot.
starting mine now. So anything I
Okay.
get from now on Wednesday stream or on Thursday stream counts toward it. Okay, so that's our first dollar into
Good to
the
know.
kit.
Oh,
Thank you
yeah.
so very much.
Good to
Hell
know.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Really cool.
Really appreciate it.
And congrats to you, Carlos. That's really cool for being a one in DM like that. That's
Oh,
gotta
man.
feel good, right?
It's so gratifying. I think about the fact that these people that have signed up for my game already ponied up $1,000 and $500 for their badges. They could have picked any DM out there they wanted. They could have picked guys like Jim Ward,
Yeah.
and they chose me. It's humbling and gratifying, man. I can't even begin to tell you.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Thanks,
I
brother.
can
I
imagine.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Oh, no problem. You did it. Don't thank me.
So I got a little quick story we'll tell about Mike, and he's going to be at Adepticon, gentlemen, but he's kind of convinced himself today to take a little ride up from Chicago to GaryCon one of those days. So because it's at the exact same time, that'll be a blast. Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I didn't know it was that close, and I'm not gonna miss that. There's no way I'm not gonna miss that close. So I'm gonna peel myself away for a day and come up there and D&D it up with the real deal. You know what I mean?
It'll be cool just to check that out. I'm excited about it. I really am as a first timer here. So okay, Frank, how about you, man? What do you got?
Oh, yeah, that's right. Style game. Goodness.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we're playing 5th edition, and the style, it is going to be heavy terrain. I do a heavy focus on miniatures and terrain. In fact, I know you don't want to go into details yet, but it will be in the city of Greyhawk. So I am actually pulling out one of the biggest city builds I've done. It's probably going to be about 150 pounds of Dwarven Forge city builder stuff on the table that night.
Wow.
Awesome.
Gotta see that.
Oh,
It's going to be a big terrain build. And with counting city, castle builder, just temple stuff, all kinds of stuff.
Oh man, it's gonna be awesome, man. I can't wait
is-
for that too.
Frank, having watched your stream the other night, if I can chime in a little bit, I would also characterize your style as you're such a personable DM. You pull your players in really deep, immerse them into the game. I feel like, having watched you the other day, just your mannerisms and just the way you interact with them is awesome to watch. Very inspiring.
Thank you.
I think everyone here is got their own unique traits, and that's why I wanted to say it's so varied. It's another reason why we're going to do that GaryCon streaming seminar with all different kinds of points, because D&D can be played so many different ways now. And we all stream, but we all play different editions, and we all play different styles, but it's the same game. And we all love the game. And that's just, the whole point about going around and saying that is and the old school guys like Carlos and I get along with all the 5 years.
Yep.
There's no animosity or anything like that. It's definitely a great time to be a D&Der, and a great time for Greyhawk too. And for me, I'm old school 1E, 2E hybrid with a lot of customized rules, and a tabletop guy too, as most of you know. And I love it. My guys love it. And if my guys could stop getting me in trouble on the stream by stuff they do, we'd even be better off. But that's another time for another story. And I'm just kidding. So I threw them all for a loop on Thursday night, and half of them almost went crazy. But that's part of the game. So, and I loved it. Loved me torturing my players on Thursday night.
Yep.
So, but thank you all for coming on and watching. And now, so this is going to be like a free for all, guys. So you guys want to chime in? I know Jason, Casey, Anna, chime in at any point if you have any comments about anything. But this is going to go almost 24 hours. It's going to start at 4 a.m. Carlos starts it up, and then we'll run through till we're done. And we're starting at 8 p.m. And we went till like 2 a.m. last year. We went really late because I can't predict a large fight at the end, how much time that's going to take, and we're not in any hurry at that point. So, but each channel will kind of raid into the other channel, and guys, a channel may run a little late. It's okay though. I mean, you get the gist of the story. So here is, besides Carlos and me, has anyone played these?
I've read them.
Just read
Yeah,
them.
I've read
like
them.
I used to
own
own them.
I've read them.
Yeah.
Okay,
not played 'em.
these are good, but I thought a little disappointing in that era. And this, my idea, we did North of the Dragonkind last year. Will and I were really basically the only two channels that did this last year. And Will played his players played evil monsters, which was really funny. It was a great time. We had a real fun time doing it. But I wanted to revisit this because I was like disappointed by these three. They're okay, but they're not momentous like some of the modules you all remember. So I said, let's bring the Falcon.
The villain's cool.
Exactly.
I'll say that.
I
The
felt like
villain's
having played and DM'd that material before, I feel like TSR was trying too hard to incorporate the fold out all the cool bells and whistles with the terrain and the maps and things like that, and they didn't really serve either master very well. It seemed like they were trying to do too many things.
Well, that was around the same time they did the castles, right?
Yep.
Where they wanted
Yeah.
to do the 3D paper stuff.
Right, exactly.
So you're looking at what,
There's-
1990 these are.
Yeah.
There are 3D buildings in that module, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that-
and all
Yeah,
three
yeah.
of them. Yeah, the plot holes are pretty freaking big in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Buildings
absolutely.
are more important
I
than the
think they
bodies.
were also trying to. Wasn't what edition was
Second.
well, not I shouldn't say edition, but the box set had already been out for a while. What else was out that they were trying to push?
It was
Because
Free City Greyhawk box set. This is
They-
pre
yeah.
From the Ashes.
Living City was also out at that point in time that they were doing as well.
Because there's an awful lot of, hey, we're going to take you to this place and show this off to you, and this has really no bearing on the story, but here it is, and here's the NPCs that you're going to meet, and it's like, it's sort of like a guided tour. Almost. It's like, okay, well, all right.
Yeah, TSR was really big into the marketing at that point.
Yeah, I think Gary had lost a lot of control at that point,
And
and
he
they
was
were
gone, I think.
Yeah,
No,
he was
was
Oh, he
gone.
was gone in
by then.
1990. Okay,
Oh
Oh,
he
yeah,
was gone by
long
then.
gone.
okay.
Yep.
And I talked to Alan Grohe about this once, and what was the most disappointing module series of that era? And I told him this one because it had such a great antithesis, and it's kind of eh. So that was the idea for bringing her back, because this was like 16 to 20 years ago in my campaign. I ran these. So that's why on Frank's video it says 16 years ago in the City Greyhawk, it starts out that way. And I was like, I know we can create a whole brand new series of stories, post, and that was the whole idea. So guys, everyone online, let's see what everyone's coming up with. Okay, Jimmy, I'm just kidding. So
Few spoilers as possible.
exactly. So we'll start with Carlos, because Carlos is starting it off. And Carlos, thank you so very much. This is a really brutal time slot. Thank you very much.
For those of you who know me, Jay, it's really not that big of a deal. I'm a night shift guy in my professional life outside of being Castle Entertainment. So really, I'm awake during the hours of 7 o'clock at night to 7 in the morning. In full disclosure, I actually woke up about 10 minutes before we went live just now. So I'm doing 4 in the morning is no big deal to me. That's my evening. So, but my game anyway is it's called Only the Strong Survive. Jason is going to be one of my players in the game, so I really won't reveal a whole lot about it other than to say that I have successfully managed to get all the players wound up in the idea that we're starting in the free city of Greyhawk, and we're not actually. There's been some Maskarovka going on there, Anna. That term's just for you there.
Yeah.
Battletech.
Yeah.
It's old Russian policy about how they handle their intelligence. But anyway, Anyway, the idea is that they're actually going to be starting in Radagast City, and they're going to be going into the Mist Marsh. I wanted to kind of obfuscate that a little bit so they weren't able to prepare too much for what they were going to see, the terrain they were going to handle or whatever. I didn't want it to inform their choices of what kind of classes they took. So they're going to be going into kind of a wetland terrain and that is known as being very dangerous. I've always liked the county of Ernst more than the duchy because we found out all about Duke Karl for the most part through a lot of the canon resources, but we never really found out too much about Ballistica. So I was always really interested in the county of Ulick. I'm sure Casey has a lot more insight to the county than I ever did, being that they touched. I'm sure you didn't touch on any of that stuff with BK.
That was all JP Chapo.
Oh, got it. Okay. Well, anyway, notwithstanding, they'll be going into there. They're going to be dealing with a situation that a mysterious benefactor is going to ask them to handle, and it will tie directly into the Falcon series. And I think that should be about all I'm going to say about it.
Beautiful.
Very cool. What level are the PCs, Carlos?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I should have mentioned that right off the rip. The PCs are going to be anywhere from 4th to 6th level, except for Jason's, who I've made 17th. I'm just
Wow.
Whoa.
No, Jason. Everything's going to be about 4th to 6th level. It's kind of a sweet spot for gamers. I mean, to be honest with you, my most recent playing myself was high level play. So before I retired my main character. So I kind of enjoy a lot of high level play, but I know that that's not really the what everybody likes. So I kind of keep it around 4 to 6, 4 to 9th, whatever.
Your other player, Tim, is sitting on, and I'm trying to convince him to hop on because he's playing. He's the only person playing in 2 games.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's playing in my game as well with his dad.
I'm going to tell you something about Tim very briefly. Tim, I didn't see that you were on right now. Okay, so I'm known, if you remember my Patreon, every month I deliver custom character builds for the group, and I'm kind of known as the character sheet guy. I do like maybe a page of background or whatever for these throwaway characters every month. I give 3 every month to everyone with full art. Tim delivered me probably a 4-page character background, and I was stunned. I couldn't believe I got that. I was like, this is awesome. I love it. because unlike a lot of DMs that don't like to be beholden to a lot of background like that, I just eat that up. I love using that, and I love using it for and against the players when they give me stuff like that. So the fact that he fed me so much like that was, as Tensor would say, meat and drink to my soul.
Well, it's kind of doing a job for you a little bit too, because he's giving you all kinds of story.
Yeah,
You know
you're
what I
not
mean?
kidding, man. And like I said, I just love the fact that he put so much of himself into it. He gave me so much of insight to what he's like as a player and to what kind of characters he likes, which was great for me because I've never played with Tim. I mean, I've only seen him as a DM before during his particular City State games, and I thought that was really awesome to be able to get that kind of insight and the things he likes. I'm hoping to be able to use a lot of his background in the game itself. And I was sure to give him his character a couple magic items that befit his game, since he gave me that great background. I did the same for you too, Jason, so don't.
Yeah, I would have written 3 more pages if I knew I was going to get magic items.
We haven't gone live yet, brother.
Oh boy! Oh boy!
Tim is
kidding.
Tim is DM Master of Detail. If you've ever watched on our Saturday night specials when he does a City State, he's really into that game is as old as our Order of Violet campaign game. That's how long it's been around, and it is a blast to play in.
I was incredibly impressed, and I've got a third player that usually plays in my Castle Entertainment stream games. The guy who plays my gnome thief illusionist, who is Matthew Lazinski, who comes in from Alberta, Canada. He's going to be joining us too. So this is going to be an international Twitch stream again for these guys.
Beautiful.
He's going to be playing a character I think is pretty cool too. So you guys will like it.
Thank you so very much, Carlos, for that.
No problem, guys.
Like I said, guys, this is to everyone. We're going to probably be on until 9:30. If anyone has to depart, it's cool. We got plenty of people on. It is a real honor to have this many people excited about this. I'm looking forward to it. Here's a couple things for people watching. There's going to be multiple ways to donate. Number one, there's going to be a donate button at the bottom of everyone's page for the most part on the Twitch page. You hit that, it'll take you into the Streamlabs donate, and you can donate the dollar amount that whatever you want. Okay, and that'll come off PayPal or credit card or whatever. There also will be there's another cheer, Greyhawk Mike. So we got another cheer. Thanks, Mike.
Nice.
All going right into charity right away. So
well done, Greyhawk Mike. Thanks, brother.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Every 100 in cheers is like $1. That's the way it kind of works with Twitch, and all the channels will be keeping track of that. And then the other thing is if someone does a mass gift sub, not regular subs, but gift subs. Say one does 10 gift subs, it'll be $2.50 per gift sub because we only get half of that. Twitch gets the other half of it. So the most economical way to donate is with the donate button, cost wise on how money gets divvied up. That's probably the best way. Or if you want to write someone a check, you can do that too. I have a lot of my guys like Alan. Last year he just wrote me a check. It's fine. You can do it offline too if you wish. There's all different ways to do it with friends and all. Just we don't care how, but we just would like you to consider. And we got some goodies to show that. Man, our sponsors were really generous, and so is everyone here. And we'll talk about it at the end of all the great things. We didn't have this stuff last year, but we have almost everyone who donates a decent amount. Is gonna look at that. Oh man, thanks, Carlos. That starts it off. Thank you, Amanda and Carlos both. So we cannot wait until the game's actually playing, because if you guys remember last year, man, it was like boom, 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 and maybe we'll get that. What's that thing called? Has anyone gotten that up yet? Where you
Hype
get
train.
I'm sorry, what's that, Frank?
Hype train.
Right?
Yeah, the hype train. If you had I've never had a hype train yet.
I think we had one low level one.
No, I've never.
No.
I may have it turned off. I got to get a hype train up. Thank you all. And so from Carlos's game, his part, it's kind of, and I talked to Mike Dizzy about this. It's kind of like a heavy metal story. They're connected, but they're really not. But some of our people are trying to tie him in. We go back to Jimmy. So
You already
Jimmy
know all
said
my stuff.
Remember,
All right.
all times are Eastern. Okay, remember that too, please. So it's Eastern, EST. and just we'll tie that right in with. So give us a little tidbit on how many people you're playing, what levels, and all that.
Oh, so for my deal, they're all 5th level wizards.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, to
Wow,
what we're
that's
calling the Festival of Renewing, is
That
what it
is
is.
crazy.
Yep.
For pure
So
wizards.
I think we
that
have
is still
a
squishy.
fire genasi, a Goliath, half elf, human, dwarf, and I think
Carlos and I are like,
a
what?
regular elf too.
If they were warlocks, it'd be a coven, right?
Yeah. So,
But they don't
Yeah,
know each other, correct?
They do not know each
Oh,
other.
that's so
They
awesome.
have no
Oh, wow.
idea because they all come from different parts of the land. A note showed up on their doorstep inviting him to this festival because the mage of the region in the Parent Land area, who had been protector of that area, has passed, and so they are looking for someone to come in to protect the area, use his skills, and they're going to build. The part of it is the festival, show off their skills. They're going to build them a tower, and away they go. New life is calling them. A new beginning.
It is going to be cool. All of them are going to be cool. It's going to be cool. It's a great idea. And
then I think
really
with
eager
what happens
to
and all
see
that,
how
then
you do
What?
that area, because my old stomping grounds as a player is Parentland. That is near and dear to my heart. So I'm really eager to see how you characterize the area.
Hey, what level are they?
5th.
This is how Hogwarts started.
That was awesome.
Oh, yes.
Be how Hogwarts too.
Yeah, from the book series, you got was that Dumbledore and
It's 5 wizards. You got all the houses.
So they are, And I'm thinking, but based on how things end and all that, someone is going to be fleeing the area to Greyhawk, which then rolls into Will's. So
it rolls into Will's. So
nice segue, Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's
Smoothly
already
done.
All right, let's start over here.
I've revealed enough.
And Will?
Well, since we had so much fun last year playing evil guys doing the reverse dungeon, I came up with the idea because basically I went through the modules, I read them, and I was like, I don't like anything in here to use, but I like the idea of the fact that she's supposedly supposed to be working for IUs, and she really is just doing her own damn thing is basically what she's doing. So I thought it would be a great idea for IUs to send somebody down there just to deliver a letter and give her a little bit of a reminder. Hey, you can do your own stuff, but don't forget who the boss is. And so what I did is there's going to be 4 players, and they're all going to be playing doppelgangers. In the employ of IUs.
I love that idea so much.
Wow.
That's one of those. Have you ever
Inception.
been reading a book and you look at it and you're thinking to yourself, man, I wish I would have come up with that myself. I heard that and I was like, man, that is so badass. And it's so mafioso too, the way you said it.
Well, because basically what it is I want them to be able to bump around into all these different places that are in these Falcon modules and have a reason for doing it. And so what I'm going to do too is there's no level to it. They're all going to get the doppelganger stat block. They're going to get the ability to move around the stats however they want. And I'm going to give them all not a powerful, but each of them will get one magic item that they get to use on themselves. Now, doppelgangers can read thoughts and things along these. They got special abilities. So, besides the shape changing, so basically the deal is they go there and they have to find her to deliver a letter. Is basically what the premise of it is. So.
It'll be another one of you rooting for the bad guys like last year. It's like, come on, someone survived like last year, but no.
I always wanted to do that with their Living Greyhawk. I use stuff in the Bandit Kingdoms. there was something called the theory of 6 bozos, in which you only have 6 PCs doing all these events during the band, Living Greyhawk, because so many tables got to play them. And I wanted to reverse it and be like, okay, who are the Iusian schmucks sitting around and just getting murder hoboed by these 6 bozos, and have the players play the Iusians for once and suffer terrible, horrific deaths at their own hand.
Iusian schmucks. That's got to be a T-shirt right there.
Kind of
Iusian schmucks.
There you go. There's a band. Yeah. Everyone's got the shirts on tonight. Oh man, so that's going to be an awesome one, Will. Now I'm going to hold off on Frank for a second. Frank and myself, the final two, and we're going to jump to the middle square there, and there's besides the DMing, we have a lot of creative, artistic work done. I know Frank's got a ton on his, so Frank, I want you to spend a little time talking about all that as well when you go up. But so Mike Disney and I were talking. Mike, you came on a stream with Anna and me. I think we're talking about her maps, right, on a Sunday night a couple months ago. And I think that's how we met. And Mike was like, "Man, I love what you're doing. I love Anna's stuff." And then I told him about the fundraiser. He says, "Well, what can I do?" And I said, "Well, we need a Falcon, and I think we need the Falcon." It's really weird, guys. If you don't know this, the Falcon is not really a Falcon. She can turn into a Falcon. She's not a Falcon, but that's what they call it. That's what she's called. So Mike said, "Hey, I'll paint a mini for you." And let's show some of Mike's stuff here. Mike, you want to talk about your what you do craft wise and what you did for us, and go for it.
Well, you pretty much just explained it. I came in. I was here. I have a local friend that I met through my stream, Deck Knight. He's actually watching right now.
Awesome.
And he's also a fan of the campaign and the stream, and he comes over on Sundays most of the time, and we'll sit here and listen to this stream actually, and and just enjoy it. And when we were in there that night, and that was the very night that you guys were talking about everything, and I'm always game for a charity and to pitch in when I can. There he is right there, Deck Knight, in the stream.
Thanks,
So,
Deck Knight. Good to see you on. Thank you so very much. I'll tell you, and I know we're not exaggerating, but and Sashar Scorn, my guy Bill, he's on the chat right now. He's in that, and he has said that this is. I told you this. It's the best mini we have out of 10,000 painted minis.
Wow!
In there, oh my gosh, the detail on that and the scales, it is awesome looking.
It's a lot of flirting coming out of there.
Hey, Mike, where can interested parties see more of your work or purchase stuff from your?
You can go into Art of Mike Disney. There you go, right there. You can message me through my Facebook page, Art of Mike Disney, as well. On Twitch, I'm really easy to get a hold of. I'm here
because there's a lot of publishing companies out there that are always looking for new artists that be able to work with in the future.
Well, you let me know. I would love to help you out. I do illustration, I do sculpting, I do 2D traditional painting, anything that I can put these big fat sausages to work on and make something colorful. And honestly, it's to see the reaction of the people that I do the work for. It's not for the money, it's for the fun. And like I said, if it wasn't for Gary Gygax and Dave Arneson creating this beautiful game all those many years ago, I wouldn't be doing this. I would not. I'd be drawing. I'd be doing something, probably tattoos, but not anything fantasy or game related for sure. And it's been an honor to do this. So I mean, to paint something for a charity and for a campaign that's been around for 40 plus years, and it's really. It's as cheesy as this sounds. It's a highlight, it really is. It's an honor to do something like this. So it was a lot of fun painting that miniature, and I hope it wreaks havoc.
Well,
Off of that
I'm going
stuff.
to put it to good use. You know that. Absolutely. Mike, tell us about this picture, please, and what's happening with this with Reaper Miniatures.
Oh, okay. That is the Overgourd, and the way that came into play was I don't know if any of you are familiar with Inktober.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Inktober. Okay, well, you know what it is. And just to make a long story short, you have 31 days in October. Inktober is you make an ink drawing and you follow a cue for each day of October and you publicize it somewhere on your social medias. Well, of course, me being Mike Disney in true fashion, I was 4 days behind on my stream. And we came on stream and I was like, let's do through the first 4 days. And we got to number 3 and I was using the chat as my cue to follow along. So they would give me day 1. I sketched it out real quick. We moved on to day 2. We got to day 3 and somebody said, do a pumpkin beholder. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. We started drawing it up and they were like, you know what? Do instead of eye stalks, do jack-o'-lanterns for the stalks instead of eyes. I was like, boss level right there. You could do different faces, you know, Derpy Derperson up here, you know, McGillicuddy Jones down here, you know, just all kinds of characters on these stalks. So we started rendering it out, and of course we didn't get to day 4. we started doing this, but an idea came to my head being a fan of D&D, and I was thinking, how would it be if, like in World of Warcraft, you had the Headless Horseman or whoever that guy is. He's a reoccurring Halloween mob. What if your campaign, your D&D campaign, had that kind of a character that was a reoccurring D&D mob, and no matter what you did, like Jason Voorhees or Michael Myers, no matter what you did, this horrifying creature came back to haunt you. He was there and he destroys everything in his path. And so I had that idea that went through my chaotic head and I put it to my chat. I said, how would you like to see this as a miniature, guys? And I had just been sponsored by Reaper. I said, why don't you guys go over to Reaper, hit them up, see if they can do something about this. And before the stream was over, I had an email waiting for me saying that they approved it to be a mini. So
Wow.
it's
Oh,
pretty
yep.
big deal for me.
It is super cool. It's in the Kickstarter but we'll see it next year when all that comes out. Mike, roughly, I'm assuming they'll see you some models of it soon, but the miniature will be available in 2021, correct?
Yes. And hopefully it'll be wreaking havoc on Halloween or Hallows Eve or Hell Night on D&D tables across the world. So that's what we're hoping.
It is,
you know,
it's an honor. I mean, to have Reaper make something to get done is just unbelievable. And I just wanted to share that.
It really is. And Reaper, to be honest, they're a company that I have no problem sticking up for anytime, because in my eyes, they reach out to their community. They take their community to heart, what they say, their opinions. They listen to their fans. And honestly, there's not a lot of big companies that do that. And for D&D fans, Reaper is bar none. They've got everything. And they've got beautiful plastic, beautiful metal. It's a great company, and their paints are bar none too. They're really good.
So, along with Mike, myself, and Frank, Nightheart Gaming are all Reaper sponsors, all 3 of our Twitch channels. I think we're all very happy with that company, and we've been extremely generous for this fundraiser. Everyone, really generous. You can see some of the stuff behind me on this chair. They're just sitting there waiting for people to give out some decent sized donations, and we got plenty of. We'll go over everything. The stratagem as well. You can see the mats back there. Everyone loves it. We'll go over all that at the end, but we got a lot of great things. Plus, we'll have some music too to give away, and some other couple tidbits which we'll discuss. Mike, thanks, man, for that discussion. Please feel free.
No problem.
Yeah.
You know, one other thing is my cousin.
Stuff.
My cousin wrote the lore for the Overgourd too, just to give you DMs if you ever want to use him in one of your campaigns. I have a PDF, but I'm going to make it public. But Reaper wants to release the miniature first before I do that. I've read the lore a couple of times on my channel, but if you guys want a PDF of it, I will send it to you. But he's actually raised by a hag, a swamp hag, because the local hill giants were crushing all the towns and taking them out. And as we know, hags like to suffer. They like to suck off the suffering. They don't want to kill. They just want to suck off that suffering and misery of the town, you know, maybe eat the children every once in a while, but they don't want to kill everybody. You know what I mean? So the hill giants are coming in, sucking up all the fun, and she don't like that too much. So she raised the Overgord, and there you have it.
Well, Tim just said he's going to have an Overgord in the city state now, so we need an Overgord there already. Some of the other artwork that Mike does is going to scroll here for the next couple of them. Please take a look at those as it's going through, and just note that Mike does commissions. So and
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem at all. Okay, so from our 12 noon, and it must be much better, Will, that time slot than last year's.
Oh,
Right?
you ain't kidding. I mean, I didn't have to pull a Carlos. I mean, he it doesn't matter to him, but because we did what? We got up at 6.
2-3 people watching me at best, so it's no pressure.
Carlos, I think you're going to have
It'll
some
be more than
Australians, Singapore.
Yeah.
I think you'll have more
Maybe.
than that. I think you will.
I'll have my wife translate into Australian for me.
That's true. Absolutely.
Sorry, Mandaru.
Will's
Subtitles.
time slot was 2 hours earlier, so Will was starting at 6 a.m. his time, 8 a.m. Last year, and so he got moved up a little bit, 12 to 4 Eastern.
4. What was it? 4 was the West Coast guy. No, 5, because it's only an hour behind me, so it'd be 5 o'clock his time.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was early enough.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, Frank, we'll be handing off in Greyhawk. What do you got cooking? And tell us about that wonderful city you're going to be making, too.
Yeah. So, again. You know, some of the interesting things I think is nobody. One player that's playing at the table that day has played in Greyhawk before.
Okay.
And I, for a long time, so I was like, well, you know, there's a lot of area of Greyhawk, of the city that stands out, but I don't know if I want it to stand out, except for I might, for those who've read the modules, I have my own take on the status of the whistling fish. It probably will make an appearance.
All right.
Some way. That's one of the like characters almost from the module. I just want to carry that piece on for that.
Beautiful.
But the city will have some underground type areas, and we will have a ton of above ground. I mean, it's a city adventure, so and I let players do, even though I have goals that they're going to be entangled in, that they need to either survive the effects of not dealing with directly or dealing with you. I have to be dodgy because I've got players listening right now.
That's okay.
You gotta zip that lip. The smart ones are watching.
They're gleaning information. So, you know, they will interact with it one way or the other, but there's a lot of different ways they can go. So I need to build the city big, wide, have some different areas. So I'll probably have a park and like a city square type area. I will have some guard towers. So, of course, you can't scale build the city of Greyhawk. So I just have to do. I have to say this section is this section. Well, so already I have a very large table, and I am going to be filling it to capacity. I wish I could scale build the whole thing.
Where are you located at, Frank?
I am in Texas, in Houston.
Oh, oof. It's beautiful traffic down there.
Oh, my old neck of the woods.
The traffic is lovely.
So Mike, you will be there. Frank is taking. Go ahead. Tell him what you're doing for ReaperCon.
Oh, for Reaper. Wow. Okay. Well, ReaperCon. I don't know what. I have no idea what I was thinking, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm taking everything to ReaperCon. So I'm taking all my lights, streaming PCs, every bit of Dwarven Forge, Reaper miniatures, WizKids, every miniature in the house. And I mean, there's 1,000 pounds of minis and total. There is lighting and cameras, and it's all going up, building a nice thing at Reaper and letting people stream on Reaper's channel using that equipment. And so they can play games, streaming on Reaper's channel, use any of the miniatures they want, and schedule a time slot to play a game of D&D, or maybe paint or interviews. But I'm trying to make sure that all that stuff's available to people who want to.
I think that's his way of saying he just wants to drive alone.
That's so crazy. But you guys will get if you haven't watched Frank's streams, you'll get a firsthand look at how the close-ups will blow you away on the miniatures. It's just and the professionalism is top notch. It is absolutely top notch.
There will be a little bit of custom stuff on the table, and does some painting for us and some crafting, and I do a little bit, but most of it is probably going to be pre-made terrain and such.
Excellent.
Very cool.
What levels are your characters going to be for the most part?
So they are going to be probably level 5. I might give them a level 6, as I touched up the story, and I'm monitoring the number of people that are actually going to be playing. They might need to be levels. I'm prepared for them to die or not die, though. So, well, maybe 5 will be perfect.
Can you give just a tidbit of what is happening with in the Falcon, or is that giving away stuff with the players?
Let's see. I think the best way, because it happens very early in the game, I don't mind giving away a little bit to the players, the 2 that are on right now. And that is
you looked.
Yeah, I'm looking
too.
Everybody DMs.
And that is that they will be asked by representatives of St. Cuthbert to take care of a little issue that seems a little too close to the heart of Ayuz. And that little issue will absolutely have something to do with someone running some business for the Falcon. I don't know that I can say much.
That's
more.
good. That's perfect. It's perfect.
I will also say one other thing. I am going to bring in elements, and this is the fortune of me, just the way I like to do things. I like to weave as much, build these spider webs of everything coming in. I haven't talked to Jimmy yet, but I'm going to try to weave in some of what he's got going from his. I'm definitely already talked to Will and weaving in some of Will's story, and then I am like shipping it and handing it off to where Jay's story begins.
And thank you for that. Let's discuss. We have 2 of my players on right now. Casey, tell us about Garn. Why not? Tell us about Garn and how he came to be, and where what's going on with him.
Well, Garn is very, very dumb. He is a half-orc who was raised in captivity in the slave mines of Ayuz, the silver mines. He was created as my second Living Greyhawk character because once you become admin in Living Greyhawk, you couldn't play your own region's adventures. So I would travel to Louisiana and I would play adventures in the Yeomanry region of Living Greyhawk. So I needed a character to do that. So I created Garn, and I just wanted to play the most simplistic, I charge and I hit things character to take a break from all the brain activity required of writing adventures and running the campaign. And Garn was perfect for that. He basically just charges and swings, and most of the time is standing at the end. He is originally he was a cleric of Kellenin in 3rd edition. When 3rd edition went, when Living Greyhawk went to 3.5, we were allowed to rebuild our characters, and I converted him at that time into a fighter barbarian, so I could make him even more brainless with fewer spells.
Fighter barbarian.
Yeah, he was awesome. Rage and charge. And he got up to about 7th level before the campaign ended. That's how much I was able to play in the yeomanry. And he took a level of Pious Templar. For those of you who are 3rd edition nerds, you know that this prestige class had some great benefits to it. But basically, that also ties into his backstory of being a worshiper of Kellenin. So in this iteration, Garn is a Pious Templar of a temple, small shrine dedicated to Kellenin and the Bandit Kingdoms. And he is known to my primary Living Greyhawk character, who was also a Kellenite. I just adopted the worship of Kellenin as a player in Living Greyhawk for my characters. And he's just going to kind of be obnoxious and dumb and low charisma, but he swings a big sword and he hits hard.
So Casey and I went back and forth from 3.5 back to 1E2E hybrid and went with a specialty priest of Kellenin. And I'm excited about the story centers around this character. So a little, yep, there it is. A little synopsis. 6 intelligence, everyone. Yes.
Ooh, that's a dipshit.
But
right
16
Oh, yeah.
wisdom. It's kind of like Certain. Certain was the same way, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Certain was, yeah. So it's very similar. So
Wisdom super dummy.
yeah, definitely.
there. Super dummy.
But it'll be good because it'll be, he's come there for a purpose. Kellenin, what was his background in the Bandit Kingdoms? What did he like to hunt for the most part?
Iusians, because I had to play them in other regions, they weren't as Iusian involved. But when I created him with the theory that he'd been captured by Iusians and was a slave. So whenever I got to play adventures in other regions, he was always looking for Iusians and generally never finding any because Ius wasn't a part of their plots. But when I got to play core adventures that were playable anywhere in the world in Living Greyhawk, every once in a while he would run into an Iusian, and that was always fun when it happened when I was playing with people who didn't know me and know Garn, because the dungeon master would be trying to give us the box text, and you open the door and standing there is a guy wearing the grinning skull outfit, and I would just roll initiative, and I would assume I won because I was like in character. Hey, Garn rolled initiative, he won, and just charge. It would just be obnoxiousness. So I'll try and tone it down for this game next week.
No,
Oh, please don't.
no.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
What are you talking about? No.
Wow.
If anything, dial that up a little.
Slide in with the rest of the gameplay
Listen,
there.
You are going to go head to head with Tim's character Murdoch the Mighty, who has split personality disorder.
Oh wow.
Okay, so I cannot wait for how the interaction goes with this. It's going to plus you're going to have Tom the Vindicator. You're going to have all these great characters. So, and thank you for driving down. And
Well,
Casey
thank you
will
for
have a
having
little surprise for everyone in our giveaway section as well. Definitely something very generous by he. Anna. Here, I made up Anna's character. Anna's character is Garn's companion. Tell us about Jassi Yismini.
She's the brain in the bunch trying to keep Garn straight and kind of entice him to run and going in the right direction.
Oh,
she's
awesome.
an elven cavalier. She's 10th level, and she's also a Kellenin fanatic, so to speak.
Oh, nice.
But maybe slightly less fanatic. And she's from the Felreed too, so she's up from up there, and so she's kind of a Bandit Kingdom renegade, and she's more kind of the nifty kind of fighter. She's deadly with a blade without having armor class, and she's an offensive fighter. She can dole out a hell of a lot of damage and have finesse and striking capability more than being a tank, so to speak. And she has a bit more brains than Garn.
And some good looks too.
It's kind of fun, and she has some awesome sword and stuff like that. So it looks. She's really interesting. She's a bit of a fighting machine. So yeah.
So if everyone doesn't know, she's not a Cavalier from Arcana or Dragon 72.
No,
she's the Elven Cavalier variant.
Exactly,
article.
from Dragon 144.
Right.
Yeah.
So she fights longsword dagger, 7 attacks every 2 rounds.
Yep.
Yes, that's an Elven Cavalier at 10th level. 3 then 4, 3 then 4. Plus she's really good with the short bow. Now I gave Garn has a +3 Bastard Sword Defender. Okay, unnamed, but he has that. Right?
Oh, I gave it a name.
Oh, you did? Okay, what is it?
Of course. Its name is Razor Shield.
Oh, it is Razor Shield. Okay, cool. Razor Shield. But Anna's got a named weapon as well.
Yep.
Jossie has. What's the name of your weapon?
It's a cold steel. It's
Cold steel.
Yeah, it's a +3 longsword, Frostbrand longsword. So
Oh, nice.
Oh man.
I'm ready. You just think what they're going to go against, guys.
It's
Yeah.
got like an icy
And it's-
snow trail when you swing it.
It has 2 abilities. It has a Cure Serious Wounds, and it also has a special spell, Vanquil's Freeze Ray. It's kind of like an Aluk's Freeze Ray, but this one's way nastier. It's one of our specialty water elementalist spells. So, yeah, so she has the ability to do that. So I've kind of souped up these characters a little bit because...
7-4, man, with a Frostbrand. Oh, man.
Yep.
But she doesn't have a strength. She's not a high strength. Remember, Elven Cavaliers tend to be finesse fighters, so she's +8, +7.
What sort of sword was it, Bastard?
No, it's
Longsword.
longsword.
Longsword. She fights
Longsword.
Longsword Dagger, and Garn fights Bastard Sword, either 1 or 2-handed, depending.
Yep.
So, plus... yeah, go ahead, Casey.
I was gonna say, Jay was kind enough to allow me to convert as many of his actual Living Greyhawk possessions. For those of you not familiar, Living Greyhawk had a accounting system so that you could play at any table with your character and with their possessions. So I don't know how much of this you can see, but this is kind of the accounting system. So I actually told Jay, like, hey, Garn had +1 mithril full plate armor, and Jay's like, okay, cool. And I said, Garn had, a pearl of power. And he was like, all right, cool. And then, I said, oh, he had gauntlets of ogre power. And Jay said, hell no.
Hell no. Yeah,
I think we could petition Jay right now to let you have that.
It's
I
not
think
me.
it's totally okay.
My players will kick my ass. So,
tell him, Jay. Tell him why.
Oh, it's just I have not given out gauntlets of ogre power in like 25 years.
This is for charity.
Well, he asked, but can I have a item? Can I enlarge myself? I said, absolutely. Get the pluses that way.
So Garn has a wand of enlarged person in 3rd edition. I guess it turns into alter self or something. I forget what it is. Enlarge. So Garn is going to be ogre sized if he can get that off before combat. Yeah, so 19 strength on a cleric.
Yeah.
With weapon specialization, bastard sword.
Perfectly legit. Big target.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. and I took the taunt proficiency, so he's gonna be talking shit. I don't. Excuse me.
No, it's
pardon
okay.
Me.
Shit's okay.
Be talking
you can
smash.
say shit. That's one of the loud words you could say. So,
all right.
guys, you all know I have a lot of feats that are buried in, and taunt is one of them. So it's like, hey, you smell like meat and cheese, that kind of stuff, right? So, to allow them to pull in characters. So it's going to be a blast. So here's the story. Garn is in wherever they are in the Bandit Kingdoms, and he gets a vision at his Temple of Kellenin about the Falcon, who's like one of the cream of the crop of Iusians in lore. She's not about to attempt to overtake Greyhawk this time. Like the modules, she's going to attempt to take over Altamira. All right, my free city of Altamira, and that's where the story will start. It'll start in our really high class Ian Vinyamar Gardens. All the characters that are being played with my group. It's not an adventuring party. I said you guys can play whoever you want levels. There's characters from all different groups all over the place. It's going to be a disjointed mess to get a group together. But I will kind of force the issue a little bit because we don't want to be there for 12 hours. You know what I mean? We want to enjoy our time there. So it's going to be a blast. I can't wait. So all my players are playing, with the exception of one, and we believe that Tim's father will be playing as well, and he'll be playing one of those dwarves that has those axes of legend from Varnafane. He'll be playing that. Yeah. So we got some really, and he's only 9th level. We got some great characters that are going to, just like last year's one. It'll be a blast. And that'll end it up. And let's hope when I'm done that we've all had a great amount of, money raised. We did $1,000, right? Like it was 1,010 last year. right on the nose. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's just anyone want to bring up anything as far as what you're looking forward to, or something you may be doing on your stream a little differently than normal.
Sleeping in.
So I know it's a throwing it out there question, but we have all 5 DMs here, and this is normally when a 24-hour stream's done, it's on one channel. I think it's kind of cool that we all have our own channels and we're all going to be bouncing between. I think it's a neat concept to do.
You guys need to link your channels more.
I will continue to link because everyone wants to follow them all. So I will keep on doing shout outs. Thank you, Jason, for that suggestion. I got them all right here. So I'll go around the circle and do that again. But please, everyone who's on, just give them all a follow. Give Mike a follow as well. We'll have all the channels. I'll keep on hopping them on there.
Jay, one thing I would like to mention.
Sure.
I think what's really cool about this group here is that every single, for the exception of the edition that will not be named, there is a representation of every single edition here. For example, I do first, you do 1, 2. I know that Casey historically has done 3rd edition. Anna does Pathfinder, and the rest of you guys do 5. I think that's really, it's like almost like a living history of the game being played out as well as a charity event.
It's a great observation, Carlos, definitely. Yeah. And that was one of the reasons as well why I saw it's a fantastic thing that all of us, with the exception of Will, once again, are doing that thing at GaryCon as well, the streaming seminar, because we all have all different types of aspects of the game, and it'll show people you can play whatever edition you want and stream, and that's the great thing.
I'll go one even further than that. We just wrapped up the mini campaign where we went and we played Greyhawk, and we used the low fantasy gaming rule set. I talked with Steve Zednicki about it, and as I just really liked the rule set, and I was like, well, let's do it, because it was fantasy based. Let's just do Greyhawk with it, and we did, and it's like, so. I mean, you can Greyhawk itself transcends anything that's where you're swinging a sword.
Well, I may be hallucinating when I say this, but don't I remember you saying at one point in time you also ran a game of Marvel superheroes when you used Marvel characters and they ported into Greyhawk? Or is that another?
No. But what we did was we did the because the Marvel campaign we do is set in '85, and we used the 1985 story. God, what was it? It's based in the Conan.
Oh,
it happened in the X-Men comic books.
The Cool and Gaff storyline from
Cool and Gaff, yeah, exactly. And that's the one that we played through. So it wasn't Greyhawk, but I could.
Got it. I thought I remembered something like that.
It's his Marvel superheroes is on Saturday morning or afternoons now, right? Will?
At noon Eastern time.
Yeah, it's cool.
But I'm asking, it's pre-recorded, right, Will?
It's pre-recorded, but it's live chat.
Okay. Because I was watching it and y'all were getting the dates mixed up. Yes,
Yeah, you mean Adam was getting the dates mixed up. He's pretty good for that. Yeah, but no, we have the live chat so that we can interact with everybody. Right. So it's a hell of a lot easier to interact with everybody when you don't have to worry about running.
Certainly, yeah.
So I got to make one request at some point in the future. Everyone here sitting in this group is playing at some point. We need to get Mike in a game in the future with one of us. Right?
I would love that.
Okay,
I would love that. I play a dwarven paladin named Skarn, so he is quite the character.
So Mike and I have already been talking about him coming out to Philly and doing some schooling class trainings of painting, and then maybe doing a stream. Awesome. Yes. Yeah. So, but guys, if you have something, an opening at some point, or I'll have a Saturday night special or whatever, special event, we'll get you in, Mike. I know that kind of fell through on with adding. We were trying to add a 6th channel, and my apologies on that. But we will get you in a game. Definitely.
I'd be honored. I'm in Southeast Michigan, by the way. There, Sid.
You're not far from Carlos. You're not
not too far from me. I'm in Northeast Ohio.
Oh, yeah, I'm right outside of Detroit, just south. Actually,
I went to school not too far from you at Bowling Green.
Oh, hey, I grew up in Pittsburgh.
Right on.
I know that's what they call it. No Sidney Crosby, please.
Yeah, take a drink, Jimmy.
Oh my God!
Don't
Definitely.
get me started. I'm from Cincinnati originally.
Nice. We have people, and the great thing is we have people from all over the country, you know, and they're rub it in. Michael Layton.
Well, Mike won't be on Carlos's show anytime soon.
No. Hey, I actually appreciate the Blackhawks, so I'm not one of those that, you know, I love hockey, period. So
I had to do that to you for what you guys did to us in 93, 94.
You did it to me though, Carlos. You did it to the Flyers and that stupid Michael Layton letting that puck through his legs.
I can't believe that goal went in. Still, you guys played us tough though.
I was at the University of Pitt working at a bar right downtown when that game was happening, and it was beautiful. No offense, but
that's okay. It's okay. I got my Super Bowl.
The city was on fire that night, man. Let me tell you.
I got my Super Bowl. Thank God. I could die a happy Philly fan that I finally got one 2 years ago. So.
I'll always have 85.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Oh, you get to meet my cats too, Casey. All right, so we have a lot of stuff that, and I call it stuff. I asked Reaper and I asked Stratagem if they would step up and give our high donators complimentary gifts. Plus, and it hasn't come yet, I have something for almost everyone. So if we get to the point, I think I have, and I don't know how many, I'm hoping there's 25. The Bards of Greyhawk, if you know Rich from the Bards of Greyhawk, is sending me at least 25 of their CDs. Now, I can't show it. Yes.
Wow.
So I'm going
Very
to
cool.
give everyone who donates, what do you think, $20 or more, combined over all the shows. This is all 5 shows, guys, not just ours. All 5 shows. We'll get all the names together. We'll at least give you a Bards of Greyhawk CD, and it's really cool. The music's great, and they do a good job. Right? Correct, Anna? You like the?
Oh yeah, they're awesome. Yeah.
I tell you what, I'll throw in 10 prints of the Overgord too and signed.
Oh wow!
For you.
Oh, that's cool.
I'll send them out to you.
Okay.
So,
That's fantastic. So we'll pop them in as well in that range as well. That is fantastic. Mike, thank you so very much for that.
hey, you're welcome. Anything I could do to help. Like I wish I could do more. I don't have a D&D stream, so
Okay.
you know, I've got my artwork. I can contribute that, you know, so that's it. I'm honored to do this.
So we have
Very
some
nice.
more step-ups here, and let's talk about them. Casey, what are you going to do while you're here in my home during our stream? What you have a neat little idea?
So for the whole day, for all the streams, I'm going to donate all proceeds from the sale of my book, BDKR1, to the charity. And in addition, I'm going to match up to the first $100.
Excellent.
Oh, nicely done, Casey. Well done.
Do you have that book, Carlos? Again, I know you were showing
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Can you
yeah.
Show that, please.
Yeah, right over here. It is an amazing document of the history of the Bandit Kingdoms.
Yep.
I bought it as soon as I became aware of it, and I don't regret it. It's actually, as you can see from the side of it, just based on my finger, it's actually a really
Yeah.
thick book. Casey put a ton of work into it,
Yeah.
and the love in it just shows through in the
It's
front.
healthy.
Oh,
I
thank
love the
you.
stories in the back of people from other regions crying about the Bandit Kingdoms. That's
I
awesome.
know it's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
That's a healthy book. It looks very nice.
Took a couple of years off my life, but you know, very rewarding. And one of the things I'm laughing about right now is Carlos is holding it up for me because my copies are buried somewhere in storage. I broke my leg, essentially my knee, last year, 11 months ago, skiing. So I can't really climb around my storage unit and dig out my hard copies. So Jay, I've got 10 hard copies being shipped to your address, and they're either going to arrive on Saturday or Sunday.
That's
So we
okay.
all need to
That's awesome.
pray to, you know, Paylor or your
Okay.
chosen deity that they arrive on Saturday.
Well, it's okay if we can still give them out afterwards. If we have one to show everyone, it's okay.
That's true, and those are the physical ones. You can purchase physical or digital through my website.
Can you link that, please?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and throw this. This is the page that discusses the book, and it has links to the various markets on it. But the biggest markets are Amazon for the publish print on demand, and Drive-Through RPG for the PDF digital copies. But you can also find it on Open Gaming Store.
Do you have any other publications? Have you written anything else?
I have converted Living Greyhawk modules to Pathfinder and have sold those. They've been reviewed by Inzeitgeist on his site. So I actually stripped off the Wizards of the Coast intellectual property from several of my Living Greyhawk adventures, the ones that I really liked writing, and converted them from 3.5 to Pathfinder. And you can also find them through my website or Amazon or Drive-Through RPG or Open Gaming Store. I'm notorious in Living Greyhawk because I invented the half-red dragon sheep.
Yes.
Wow.
And I converted that to Pathfinder. My mod.
Oh, it's so cool. Yep.
Oh my gosh, man.
The Morgan
Stoller.
Stoller, he gets a bit bored, and he, well, things happen.
Yep.
A definite. I'm looking forward to getting one of those hard copies in my hand. I'm going to be buying one right then and there when you come. So I'm putting that in the donations. Definitely looking forward to it. It's very generous.
Very honored to be involved.
I want a description of this dragon sheep so I can draw this thing. You know.
I will try and send you a message here.
Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mike's the guy to do it too, because he had what was that called, the that you had up on your picture on your screen that Anna was talking about, your dog.
My carpet shark.
Carpet shark.
Yeah, carpet shark.
That's my Boston Terrier. I had 2 Boston Terriers, and they would circle you, because I'm a large individual, and of course they see me as an easy target, and they'd circle me on the carpet, just like a shark. So naturally, I call those 2 little. They were my carpet sharks, and they good dogs.
That's so cool.
Casey, I have your other modules sitting around.
Oh, if you want to throw it up, I was going to show the link.
I have it here too somewhere.
Yeah,
as I can hear.
Oh, wait.
I'm really happy with how that cover came out. A gentleman named James Shields, goes by J.E. Shields, I believe, has done the artwork for several of my covers. And, describing a half-red dragon scene to him, and he didn't bat an eye.
There's Mike's. Carlos, you're center square now. I got moved around.
Oh, I am. Okay.
It just got all moved around. While they're looking, let's and if they find that, and then let's talk about
somewhere. Yeah,
it's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and if you're back, let's talk about what you have just offered up today that you're going to give out.
Yeah, it's
well.
being the last bit was just made just before the show. So I printed out my new 576 map. I printed out the central parts of it. It will be on 17 by 11, and it will be the area that is roughly within Greyhawk and 500 miles around it, so to speak. So it will be 4 of these at the central area, and it's printed on the best of the premium photo paper, and it's 1200 DPI. So it's probably the best kind of color reproduction you can get. Way better than offset print. And my plan is to print this. The sheet will be 60 pages all in all, and for GaryCon I'm going to print the whole damn map, and I'm going to print it on 17 by 11 at the best quality ever. So that will be, for the first time I think in 20 years of history, a map will actually be printed so we can look at it. So take a peek at it and put all this stuff. So this is my first test run, and my second test run. I did one test run for a few before, and they simply look fantastic. I've cut away all the borders, so it's a borderless print, so you can actually mount them side by side, and you get the central part of the flannies, and they look gorgeous. So yeah.
I think this is by the way, going back to.
Oh yes.
Okay, there it is. Pages. Okay.
So how am I supposed to fit that big map in my car? And I don't understand.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
that's a lot of map.
Oh yeah, but it will be a bunch of a stack of papers, so to speak, 11 by 17. So I will fit them in a suitcase. So yep.
So what Anna's going to do is
I can't wait to see it.
give a donator
Yeah.
the middle 4 areas of that and ship it right to
Yeah,
them.
the central part around Greyhawk, the next 500 miles
beautiful.
around it. Yep.
I mean, at the highest
Wow.
resolution possible on that.
Yeah, and
just-
they're not printed from PDFs. They're printed straight from Illustrator, and I'm overseeing the whole thing myself. So
It's beautiful
They are
work.
color
It
matched,
really
and
is.
they are the original vector art and stuff. It's in it. So they actually looks way better than the. And if you have to
Can you
use
hold them up, Anna? Can you hold them up?
Yeah, I can.
So
I can hold them up like this.
I mean, look
It's
at the detail
beautiful.
on that.
Yeah,
It's
look at
unbelievable.
that.
So you can
That's
actually,
gorgeous
yeah,
work.
you can see them like this, and that will be
Jill
that's
Vance.
yeah
Oh,
that's
the
yeah
near
that's the area
diva.
of Greyhawk, and then you have the area west of the city here,
Oh,
and
that's awesome.
yep, and if you use a magnifying glass, you can actually read the smallest print. So
It is gorgeous. That is really gorgeous.
and then
work.
it's the southern 2 squares, so we get the Lord Mills and Celine and Wild Coast and
my
stuff.
territory.
And then we get the Pomage and the the Wild Coast and Pomage and the
beautiful.
Bright Lands and stuff. So yeah, so it's
So Anna's going to be giving those areas out of the map, okay,
Yep.
to someone,
Yep,
and
that
that's
will
going to
be
be in the
sent
top
to
6.
someone.
It'll be a top
Beautiful
6
work.
gift.
Beautiful work.
Yep.
All right,
So
we're-
that will be part of it. So yep.
Beautiful work.
Just tremendous.
You
Let
know,
me
I
go-
had something I wanted to ask. I didn't mean
Sure.
to block
No,
you
go
off.
ahead.
No,
Go ahead, Mike.
go ahead, Jay. I know you're
No,
probably
go for it,
running
Mike.
late
After
here.
it's free for all.
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
Mhm.
Well, I wanted to ask you guys, as being all the DMs in here, you've been players in Greyhawk before, correct?
Oh yeah.
So
No.
what's your favorite? I like the sassy one right there. But what's your favorite adventure? What was your favorite thing? What's your favorite thing about Greyhawk? Is that like
Good
asking
question.
you what your favorite musician is, or
No.
is it like that question? Is it that deep, or is there one thing that sticks out in each of your heads?
Carlos.
Well, first of all, if you're going to ask about adventures, are you talking about published adventures?
No, I'm talking about in your experience
Okay.
in Greyhawk. Mine, I mean, it's very, very common, and I know you guys are gonna know exactly what it is. It's already been discussed. I've seen people put it in chat, and that's Temple of Elemental Evil,
Oh.
Hamlet. That's where my heart lives. I love that. That's old school, and I love it 100%. That's me.
That's
So
an awesome series. And it leaves opening for you to work on it. Which, go ahead, Carlos. I mean, I think I know what you're going to say. So go
Well,
ahead.
let's guess.
Yeah.
I know he's going to.
I'm right behind him with it.
Yeah, I think I know. Module wise, I know, but
Yeah, module wise, you guys know what it is. My favorite module published is WG4/S4, which is Forgotten Temple of Thurisdan and Lost Caverns of Socanth. For me, I remember being a 12-year-old boy when Socanth first came out and laying on the living room floor in front of my fireplace and having my little 12-year-old mind blown by the fact that they actually had a secondary book in there full of magic items and monsters, all these demon lords and stuff like that I'd never seen before. I mean,
these are the stories right here that D&D is about. Right here. That's why I wanted to ask you guys this question, because this is exactly what I want to hear.
I probably lost 3 shades of color to my face just reading that book when I was like 12 years old. Like, this is the most amazing thing I've ever seen in my life. And not only that, but the module is so cool. And the tie-in to Thurisdan is so amazing too. That module is probably the closest thing to me that Gygax ever wrote to the kind of the feel of a Cthulhu thing, where it's so creepy, so it's so full of atmosphere, and if you run that thing right, you can really horrify your players pretty well.
Oh yeah, true evil,
and
100%.
I have plenty of stories about adventures that I love that are outside published, but I'll keep it to that. I don't want to monopolize time.
But the ending with Drelsna in it is so beautiful and so disturbing too, that it's just like, wow, that is really cool.
It's good writing.
Yeah, it was definitely. Now, Frank, I know you haven't played in a while in Greyhawk. What do you think?
Well, okay, but it's a little trickier for me, I guess, because I don't really ever use official settings, but that to me is the magic that Greyhawk allowed. When I was young and started playing, and I was really super young, and I tricked my way into the first game I played being a DM for the first game ever, and I continued to be a DM for the other 40 years that I've played. I rarely have been a player, and so
Amen, brother.
I stuck in that world that I started because I wasn't versed enough to know anything when I started playing. So I built a world and let people play it. But then I would read Greyhawk, I would read the whole ideals behind it, and just the fact that it was open to interpret it, that the game itself, Greyhawk is a prime example of the way the game itself is very open to do what you need to do with it. So that's why Greyhawk is one of my first loves, and that all the material and everything made for it just screams, this is how you homebrew something. This is how you make wizard spells named after the characters. This is how you make magic items that characters in the game have played and created.
Classic.
Great answer.
D.
Anyone else want to take this up?
Oh yeah. Well, I just saw Casey grabbing some green modules.
I do.
Which one?
Just happened. Yeah. So
there it is.
Tomb of Horrors.
The Slave Lords. He's got Tomb of Horrors, but I saw the Slave Lords. I thought
it's the G series and A1.
And A1s. Yeah, and I just saw on his website that he's done some reviews on the A series and some work.
Slave Pits. Nice.
Yeah, about to get some reading from me on that. Those are my modules by far. So
Slave Lord stuff.
Yeah, very much so.
A couple modules for you.
Yeah. I know you do, and I'm thinking about trying to bring that to the channel. And if I would slow down and doing all the rest of the stuff I'm doing, then yes, I will purchase that and get that stuff because I'm thinking about running a series on the channel.
I would love to do a replay of Slave Pits. I would love to play that again, man. That is for sure. It's been a long time since I played Slave Pits.
I'll reach out to you then.
And they've done so many cool things with Slave Lords subsequent to those modules. For example, not only have they done some stuff with the module Slavers itself, which is an amazing expansion to it, but in Gygaxi and the premium editions of stuff that they released through Wizards of the Player's Handbook, one of them is Scourge of the Slave Lords, and there's an entire new module, an A0 for it.
A0. That's right.
They do all kinds of neat stuff.
Yep. And it's all been repurposed into Fantasy Grounds. So there you go. So we get a little.
I'm about ready to integrate Fantasy Grounds. Spoiler alert into my stream. So that's something you and I have to talk about at some point.
Wait, what's Fantasy Grounds?
VTT, a virtual tabletop.
Mike, we'll reach out to you. We're going to get you educated. Trust me.
Let me see. I think Mike's got a game tonight. Mike Wilson's not on, unfortunately.
Yes,
Celestian. He's the man. He does all the coding for 2E, a lot of it for 2E Fantasy Grounds for Greyhawk.
Yep.
Which is
well, between Jimmy and Celestian, and I have a good friend of mine, Linda Booth, that works with Cobalt Press. I've been converted. I think that. That's
Mike's here. Mike's on.
Here. He's lurking.
There you go, Celestian. You're on. Mike lurking. Okay, awesome, man. Yeah. Beautiful. So he's the guy to talk to. He last night after Carlos's stream, he was running Temple of Elemental Evil still Fantasy Grounds. You've been doing it about a year, Mike, right? On your stream, and it's just like there. So Steve, the NPC, asked, I never knew so many people were still playing Greyhawk. Well, there's a whole community, Steve. I'm going to give you some things, and this is for everyone on there. Please, if you're interested, some of you are. Here's Greyhawk Online. And here is our Discord channel, okay? Feel free to utilize both of them. I know Christoph and Brian Blomkatz will get a real kick if we have like 8 or 9 people join up on the Discord alpha tonight.
Yes, they will.
So, yeah, absolutely. They're great guys. Anyone else want to take up that question from Mike? It's a great one.
Yeah, I'll jump in.
Go for it,
Casey.
I
hope so.
So I think like all of us here, we probably, or most of us, I started with the old box sets and Beckme and whatnot. And I don't remember when I first discovered Greyhawk, but I remember the fact that it was not too fleshed out, but then you got the lore in Dragon Magazine articles written by Gary Gygax.
Oh yeah.
That tied into the setting, and so you could advance the setting. The setting could be alive if you wanted it to. And of course, I don't think we had the terms, or at least I didn't, of sandbox campaign and things like that back then. War gamers maybe, but I sure didn't know it as a 12-year-old. But so when they kept coming out with stuff, a lot of it was great. And for me, the Against the Giants series, GDQ, was the ultimate Greyhawk campaign. Your characters aren't crazy overpowered like I think they tend to be maybe in other campaign worlds, regardless of edition. And you're going and you're just fighting giants. It's a simple thing. Bad guys are bad, and heroes are heroes. And sure, there's shades of gray in Greyhawk. Obviously, the circle of 8 is neutral and all that. But I use as a bad guy,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that as a kid was very interesting to me. And I have played in Forgotten Realms, and I have DM'd in Forgotten Realms 20 or so years ago when it blew up and was the big thing. But my heart is always in Greyhawk, and the opportunity for me to become part of the Living Greyhawk campaign occurred when I was just working at a bookstore. I'd gotten out of the army. I hadn't played any Dungeons and Dragons in a long time. And I had just heard about this 3rd edition of Dungeons and Dragons. And, I remember when 2nd edition Advanced came out. I've still got the book right here. So people told me about 3rd edition. I was like, yeah, all right, I'll check it out. And I thought it was a good marriage of system, and the core world was Greyhawk. And I was hooked. And I've been back into the community ever since then. When D&D went 4th edition, I went Pathfinder. And after talking to Anna for a couple years, I finally caved in, and now I'm running Ghosts of Saltmarsh in 5th edition for my home campaign.
How many times have we heard that? D&D went 4th edition, and I went Pathfinder.
A lot. But Carlos and I never left.
I tuned out.
Old school. Carlos and I never left the old school.
Now, never. Casey, I'm interested in something about your affection for giants. I'm going to lose 1st edition cred here if I keep pumping up these 2nd edition products. But the Against the Giants 25th anniversary stuff that came out as a supplement to that, did you enjoy that as well, or was that kind of remove some of the mistake from it?
So I suspect I've forgotten more about that than I can remember, because my modules, half of them were destroyed in the Great Soap accident of 2003. I was moving from Houston to College Station, Texas, or something like that. And I put the mods all in one cardboard box, and someone put a bar of soap who was helping me move, and it was wrapped up. It was the new bar of fancy soap my girlfriend at the time had bought me or something, had thrown it in there. And so half my mods got destroyed by the soap, which melted in the 100-degree Texas heat during that move. So the 25th edition stuff, I didn't have a lot of it. I did recall when TSR had their 25th anniversary, they put all their mods on sale for like 40% off or something like that at what's it? Where would you buy toys? Toys R Us.
Toys R Us.
Yeah,
KB.
they put them all on
KB.
sale at Toys R Us, and I went and bought like all the mods that you could imagine back then that were out, but half of them later got destroyed. So
they had them at the bookstores too. Remember the bookstores in the
Walden
mall
Books.
had all?
yeah,
Walden
Barnes
Books.
and Nobles.
Walden Books had all
Walden.
the D&D books. They usually had like that section in the back of the store.
But
Yeah.
it's some great memories on there. Anyone else want to tackle that one before?
Sure.
Well, Jason, please go
Oh,
on.
Anna, you go.
No, okay. Well, I'm the same situation as Frank and many of you others. I've been running in I've barely been playing in Greyhawk because the others that I played with back in Sweden, they were running games in other settings, and I kind of like to play as a player in other places where I don't know the setting, so I can be kind of intrigued and blown away by new stuff I don't know about. But when I'm running games, I always want to run Greyhawk, and I run it very sandboxy. I read all the stuff, but I don't use it straight as intended. So I use it as material to inspire me to fill out my version of Greyhawk. But we've been to some of the best adventures that we run. The most popular was but we saw the Ivanhoe movie back in the 80s, and we realized that, we want to do tournaments. We want to do, we want to do tournaments. In Sweden, they actually show it every New Year's. They still do every year. It's amazing. Yeah, so I've seen that one like 12 times. And when we saw it the first or the second time, and it was like, we need to do a tournament, they asked. So I said that Littleburg in Furundi, we said that was the town, the city where they had a tournament every year, and in order to get the new Knights of the Hearts inaugurated into the order, etc. Blah blah blah.
Very cool.
Yeah, so I invented that, say that they had a festival in the summer during Growth Fest, or Rich Fest, sorry, that the Midsummer and stuff, that they do a huge tournament. So I kind of made a more advanced version. We played 3.5 back then, and I made a more advanced version of the rules. So you rolled a defensive roll to boost your or lower your AC and stuff. So we had kind of really tricky the rules, and there were archery competitions, and that was a lot of fun. That was awesome. And I have to say, we played that session on when there was at the island of Gotland in Sweden. That is, they have an old medieval town, city wall and town, and outside there is an area, a big field outside, and this is a World Heritage Site. So it is an actual genuine defensive wall around the city from medieval, that is like from the 12th century. Wow. And it's still there. And outside they have a medieval week every year, and outside the city they have a real tournament. So we during the day we sat there, and in the evening they had the torches and lit up with fires and stuff, and they had a tournament, and then we played the day after. It was simply amazing. We were sitting there, we were seeing this, and it was like seeing the game, and then we went back and we had a trailer and we played in it, and for like a week. That was absolutely awesome. So that was one of the highlights in gaming that we did.
And in honor of this discussion, which we've had a couple times on the jousting, for our 40th anniversary year, in the summer, we're going to have a jousting stream.
Oh, wow.
With D&D characters. Yes. We've done it once before. We're going to do a joust competition.
Nice.
Yeah, so that'll be a cool night. I'm excited about that. Let's get through GaryCon and all that, and then we'll start doing a couple of other things.
It's neat hearing these stories from you and Anna, Jay, because jousting had history in Living Greyhawk. A PC got a noble title as a result of a joust in the very first year in the Bandit Kingdoms, but this guy cheated. He was a cleric of Ralashaz. He hid a wand of True Strike up his sleeve, took one level of wizard, True Strike himself, and then go down through the list. And he was just knocking everyone off their horses. And everyone's like, how the hell is this third level cleric beating us up? And that became Baron Ulick, like the unlooked for Baron of Moranon in Red Hand, and he owed fealty to Zeech, the lawful evil, lawful neutral leader of Red Hand.
Alhester,
right. So he's actually been canonized as an NPC as a result of Living Greyhawk in my head canon. But just jousting, and I would love to see this.
Oh yeah, it's going to happen. It's a definite. We have all the
those
rules.
Of you guys who show up at GaryCon too, they actually have in the Legends of Wargaming room an open jousting thing that's run by Paul Stormberg, who's
nice.
Old Greyhawk head that you guys can check out.
I can't wait. Carlos, I'm trying to get in that tournament, that 108 player tournament. I'm trying to get into that.
I got wasted in round 2 or 3 the first time I got.
You need a wand of True Strike.
There you go. It's a little more random than I might like, but
I gotta try it. I gotta try doing it one time and just see if I can get at least with the group I'm in assigned to. Like I said, I'm so excited about the whole experience. So Jason, let's finish this topic of question up with what you have your input.
Well, my story is pretty much the same as the rest of you guys. I think the last time I played in Greyhawk is 83, so it's been about 37 years for me. I started back in 77 with the Holmes Basic set, and that's a little pre-Greyhawk, but I quickly jumped into the Folio. And back then we had a little gaming group of about 6 or 7 regulars. So we switched off on DMing. The first thing we did, of course, was like T1. but the other published thing was when the G modules were coming out, and we just ate them up as they came through. So we started doing the G modules, and I got to play through G1, G2, G3, and they're some of my fondest memories. It's they were just such incredible depth in these tiny little 8-page modules that you opened up, and it was a whole world of adventure there. So when we got to the D series, I ended up my turn as DM, and then it just went where I kept DMing, and I DM'd through the D series, and we got lost in the Q series, and then we broke up for college, and that was the end of my long gaming group back then. But yeah, I have a lot of love for everything that Gygax put out. For the most part, I'm not a big fan of the Alice in Wonderland
Dungeon Land.
Yeah,
Land Beyond the Magic Mirror. How about Conan Unchained?
Yeah, but otherwise, I mean, T1 is perhaps the perfect introductory module.
Yeah.
And then, but I wasn't a big fan of going deeper into temporal of elemental evil. Not like I became a huge fan of the G modules. I've got a book that, a fan book that I've written about G1, and I'm just finishing up my 2020 update on that. But coming up, this will be great playing Carlos's game because, like I said, it's been 37 years since I've played in a Greyhawk campaign. In the last 40 years, I haven't been much of a player. I've been doing a lot of DMing, but not much playing.
I'll try and not let you down, Mr. Zavoda.
Same here, Carlos.
Thank you for that question, Mike. That was a really good.
Yeah.
No, hey, thank you
insightful-
guys for the answers. Those are great. I love those stories. So
and that's one of the reasons why we have this in Legends and Lore, our talk shows, instead of just playing and watching a bunch of old guys at my table. We try and get into the deep weeds with Greyhawk, and I learn something new every time we have one of these discussions. So it's fantastic just to see the community and with us having crafters here with DM streams, we're trying to get that community even tighter.
Well, it's inspirational as a creator. Just to get. I love lore. So, and honestly, lore and story is what really drives me as a creator. Like I said, again and again, I can't thank Gary Gygax enough for Dungeons and Dragons because it has really opened my mind up and my imagination to so much that's out there. And I get a lot. I get everything from a lot of D&D stories. And why would I not ask people who have been involved with the campaign for 40 years, what's your favorite stories, and all of you are seasoned DMs and players, and it's actually a privilege to be able to ask you guys this question. So it feeds me, and now I'm feeling very inspired to burn up the sketchbooks as the next few days.
Frank, are you the guy who looks like the wizard?
Me?
It says, Damon ES, does the guy that look like a wizard work for City State Entertainment? I'm assuming that you look like the wizard out of us, right?
That's just presumptuous now,
I'm
Jay.
sorry. I made an assumption on that.
The wizard.
I don't know.
Just because he's got a beard.
One of our streams.
I mean,
one of our
not to
stream
be
watchers.
mean, but I think Mr. Disney looks like my last Dwarven wizard character. That great on,
Casey, I think he was talking about you since your familiar just made an appearance.
Well, this is true. Yeah. I'm a multi-classed mutt, if I had to stat myself out.
Got it.
I do not work for City State Entertainment. If that was directed at me.
Tea time with Terrence says, "Look at that magic forest."
Yeah, I'm old school. Mike just said there's no such thing as a dwarven wizard. As Carlos and I would agree on that too. So
that's a good thing I'm playing 5th edition.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
We'll take them. We'll take them.
So let's talk about what we have to offer we want everyone to feel comfortable with donating to this worthy cause. We did it last year; it was fantastic. But now we've upped the game a little bit. So Reaper and Stratagem have been so kind, and so has Anna and everyone else, and Casey and Mike giving stuff for this. Bill Sashar Scoring is on. Bill the Master Crafter has offered something as well. Let's go to that real quick.
Man,
and these
you
are
guys are incredible.
These
man,
are his
everybody.
demons, Reaper demons, custom painted for my game on Thursday. I'm sorry, it's not Thursday, on Saturday. My normal stream's on Thursday. All the type 1s, 2s through 5s. And so, wow, with Ayus, I wonder if we're going to see these on Saturday. So, he's got the Leaper Demon, the Baragora, the Chasme, Carlos, all the cool stuff, right? The Frock, Nalfashni, we got them all. So, this tower is Swain's Tower. It's smack dab in the middle of Altamira. I can't get the terrain up for this until my Thursday night stream, so I'm kind of playing hooky from work Friday to set up my stuff on Friday. Yeah.
That now the
Hope you don't have any viewers at work.
If that now the Shneeze shows up, Anna's going to need all 7 and 4. Because I'm here to tell you, I wrote an entire article for my patrons of my will remember this, about why you need to kill demons in the very first round that you see them, or you're done.
Oh, but if you do the summoning part of them, like crazy,
you do the gate. Yeah. You let the gate go, forget it.
I kind of am nice when it comes to that and limit that because it also. I'm too nice, Carlos. All right, so
the nice DM.
The nice
Demons.
DM.
Don't do
Below is the Obsidian Crypt, a Reaper sculpt that Bill, the Master Crafter, has painted that we're giving away for this charity event as one of the top 6 gifts. The top gifter of all will get their choice of 6 items, including Anna's maps, that, and here's the second one on page of that. So we'll ship it. Those figures, of course, this is it in gameplay, but look, it's adorned with all inside. It's really cool. The figures and the sarcophagus, it's not included, but that's one thing. So we have that. We have Anna's maps. Now I have a ton of stuff from Stratagem and Reaper. If you see back here, everyone knows I have these underlays from Stratagem that we use. Stratagem has been kind enough to give me a winter map and a spring map. There's the winter map. Okay, that's another thing we're going to be giving to donators. This has some bulk to it. I mean,
woo! Yeah,
what size are those maps?
6 foot by 4 foot.
Yeah.
Wow.
I use 2 of these on my when I set up because I
serious business.
So I have one winter and one spring, courtesy of Stratagem. You can look up how much these are on Amazon if you want, but we're looking for like $50 or more in those top 6 donations to get one of these, please. Because these things are really, I feel like the guy on PBS.
Damn.
Am I the guy on PBS now that does, hey, for a donation of this, we'll give you that?
Yep.
So
I've got a 4x3. I couldn't. 6x4.
You could use it. And there's the spring one. They're fantastic. I have 2 of each. It's great. Also, for a little bit less, I mean, the top 12 or 13 donators will get to choose. I have a bag of devouring. There's the bag of devouring. 140 dice in this thing. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So that's Wiz dice, which is Stratagem, and then I have the fumble dice, which I've been using. These extra large dice which, on the commercial. I have a black and a white set. You've seen me play with the one set that I got from Stratagem, and I fumble all the time with the stupid.
Yeah, they're
20.
excellent dice. They're just not compatible with Jay.
Yes, exactly. they are huge, and you've seen the ads for it. There they are. They're big. They're like double the size of a regular 20-sided die and stuff. It's pretty.
Is that a full set of D&D dice?
A full set, each one. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So I got 2 of those.
Wow, I've never seen those. That's
all
crazy.
courtesy of Stratagem and Wiz Dice, same company. Now, let's see what we got from Reaper, shall we?
Oh boy. Reaper is very, very generous company.
Right. Reaper stepped up as well. Both companies gave about the same amount. A complete unopened Bones paint set, right?
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
That
This
is
is going to be a
amazing.
top 6er. And I have 2 different colors. You got your choice. Top one, if you want. There you go. Bones paint set 1 and paint set 2.
And those paints are amazing. Those sets are really, really, really good. Somebody that's looking to get into the hobby and start off, that's got a lot of value right there.
Definitely for these two. Now I have 3 different dragons as well. I only brought one up, but we'll go. And there's also a little bit of there's a lesser paint set for as well. There's that one as well. We have one of those. It's 6 colors. It's still nice, still a nice set. And we know paint is not cheap, guys. Reaper has really stepped up with this.
Oh yeah, no, paint's expensive.
Cinder,
very expensive.
There you go, an entire dragon. It is not a small mini, guys. All right, so I have Cinder, Martha Ghoul, and one other one. We have 3 dragons to give away as well. So we have that dragon, and then that dragon. Really nice sculpts.
Very nice sculpt. I have
all 3 of those dragons we have to give away as well.
They're gorgeous. They're big too. They are dominating. You put those on your table against your minis, your characters are not going to be happy.
Yeah. Plus, we have at least 25 CDs coming from the Bards of Greyhawk, which is all songs about Greyhawk, which is really cool.
That's badass.
Yeah, it is. So, and the Bards, he didn't give me any logos in time to add to this, or I would have put in some of Rich's stuff, but he just didn't give me anything. So right now, so I gotta just talk about it. I haven't received them yet, but it's on its way. So it is big as the WizKids Dragons. It's bigger than the WizKids Dragons, man. Some of those legendary. They are nice sized dragons. We have Bill's the Master Crafters doing right now the zombie dragon. He's putting that together and he's going to paint that up for something else. Yeah,
can't wait
which
to
we
see
got
that.
separate. So we got a lot of cool things going on. I really appreciate everyone stepping up here. Our sponsors really stepped up. All I can say is I don't want to sound like we're trying to push push this, but it is a good cause. I mean, founded by Danny Thomas all those years ago. It's something that I think is worthwhile, and I wanted we want to do something that everyone could get behind. So we did it last year and we had very success. Please, if you can afford to give something, please do. If you can, it's okay. It's we know it's there's difficult times for some people out there. It's fine, but if you know someone who knows someone, please do it, and we will thank you for it. So
tuning in is awareness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Follow is support, and it's free.
Absolutely.
So everything helps.
You want to do a cheer, you want to do a donate, you want to do a couple gift subs, you can do whatever you like, guys, and it'll all go. Like I said, mine the cheers I got tonight are already going right to it, and so anyone we'll say, why don't we say a little bit of we're getting close to that time, a little bit of closing words for everyone, and why don't we start with Anna? You want to do some shout outs, some discussions, or some words of encouragement? Have at
Well,
it.
I simply, this is such an awesome event, and who knew that D&D could be, and Greyhawk could be a spectator sport. It's kind of, it's thanks to the internet and talented people running games publicly, so to speak, over the internet. It's fantastic. I just love it.
It's passion really is what drives it.
Yep.
It's good to see it, and it's good to see everybody excited about the same thing. And it really brings a lot of good people together. It's a very, very, very good experience.
That's
I'm
the
really
shortest
looking
you've
forward
ever
to next
done,
week.
Anna.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, I've been babbling so much about my stuff on this channel, so everyone is fed up with it. So
No,
there will be
No way.
But I'm working hard on a bunch of stuff for my seminars at GaryCon. So I have a whole bunch of new stuff and concepts and things, and there are some things that have been in the pipeline for a very, very, very long time is going to see the light of day, and I'm going to show it there are things I haven't even showed to my patrons yet. So I'm holding it off for that. So there will be some new concept coming up, so to speak. And
hey Anna, do you remember last year that I sent off a 5-page module for the handout?
Mm-hmm.
This year I did 10.
That's awesome. Yep. And there will be a handout too. Will be a handout too this year. So yep. Mm-hmm.
I couldn't help myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep.
Oh, that's so fantastic. Carlos, you always go overboard with everything. I mean, like you
I
said,
can't help myself, like I said.
you wanted to write up that adventure for me overnight. I'll write up a page, and it was 10. You know, so
Yep.
it's like it definitely.
Yeah, I thought I had something there until Tim blew me out of the water there with his character background.
Tim is dot the I cross the T guy. You got to know that when you
Yeah,
play.
I was impressed. As a guy who's too long-winded for his own good, I was
the novella background guy.
Great.
You gotta come when Tim DMs. If you are not at your A game, you're dead. So you have to bring your A game when Tim DMs an adventure. And said if I don't play Greyhawk, I love playing in his city state. I mean, it's so different. You know, it's got a different feel to it. So Anna, thanks. But one thing, Anna and I are on again Wednesday night. We have our Legends and Lore on.
Yes.
Let me just push that real quick. We have right now 2 confirmed living Greyhawk persons that didn't come on last time. So we have Jeffrey Dauberpool and John Dubois so far. Did I say them right, Casey?
Yeah, think so.
All right, and Doug Cowell is not confirmed yet. So and then I may have
Keep
one
your
more.
fingers crossed for
Yeah,
Doug.
so I may
Doug
have-
was a Bandit Kingdoms
cool
guy
Ooh,
from the
yes.
beginning of the campaign and would have some really good stories to share.
Cool. Excellent. And that'll be on Wednesday night on normal time on Legends Lore at 8 o'clock. And it'll be myself, Anna, and Mike talking to more living Greyhawk individuals, another look. And we wanted to get some more new ones in, and then we'll bring back some of the older people who were on before and talk about their stories too. So we're excited about that. So Jimmy, what do you got?
No, I'm just thankful that you invited me to be on the show and be a participant in this, because I've been wanting to do a charity stream for a while, but as those of us who do the single DMs, there's no way this old body's going to put on a 24-hour show by himself. So being a part of the group has been phenomenal, and our friendship that we developed our meeting with Gen Con last year has led to this, and I am truly humbled by it, and I look forward to contributing and living up to all this other hype, So, but yes, I'm looking. I'm can't wait. I'm chomping at the bit to run and then see how this all plays out, and we'll do it again. So yes,
I think this is a great stepping stone for future things, and I think just the momentum will keep on going more and more and more as one channel raids into another one. I think it's good.
I'm a strong believer of the channels have to work together in a cooperation and collaboration across Twitch, with so many things now streaming. I'm not trying to say we rise above the top, but the quality needs to come out, because now there's so much out there, and I'm just glad to be a part of the group. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
You and Frank are the standard bearers for high quality, in my opinion, in our community. You guys both do such an amazing job. When I see you guys' feeds, it's just like I'm humbled, and I realize I need to bring up my A game all the time.
We're all different in our ways we do it, and I think that's what we were good at it. So we'll bring it all to the table.
Thank you, Will.
Oh, hi.
You've been like quiet for a while, so that's kind
Everybody's been talking, man. I'm just listening and soaking it all in.
That's
Great.
Soaking it in.
Hear my dumb ass all the time. I'm looking forward to the charity stream for sure. The 25th of this month, we bring back the Greyhawk Adventures for season 3. So we'll be kicking off the Bone March.
Oh, nice.
So that starts on the 25th.
Oh, wow.
The end of this month. Yeah. So, and we've had a little bit of a sabbatical. We did that little mini campaign with the low fantasy gaming thing like I was talking about. And so, and we've had the cast has switched a lot now. So we've only got 2 original ones from back when we were doing Bandit Kingdoms. So we've only got Michael and Adam. So the rest of the cast is new now. So working it out.
Of your 4 players, are they all from your regular Tuesday night? I never asked for Saturday.
Yeah, everybody who's doing the charity event is all the Greyhawk group.
Nice.
So yeah, I couldn't get it to. I talked with all the cast members on all the different shows and saw who get, and basically all the free people who could do it were all the Greyhawk guys. So it was like, all right, cool.
Perfect. Casey.
Well, I'm just looking forward to the charity event on Saturday, and for the rest of the year, I'm getting married in early May.
Hey, congrats!
Thank you. So I've got a lot of
congratulations.
bandwidth being put towards that. We're wrapping up all the points along that.
Nice knowing you.
Oh,
But she is a gamer, so and
oh, hey, there we go. There
later
we
in
go.
February, we're going to InterCon, which is a large LARPing convention that I have been really enjoying going to with her. I will be playing Lord Grantham, for those of you familiar with Downton Abbey, in one LARP. But for D&D related stuff, I think I'm going to start working on my Living Greyhawk mods and converting them to 5th edition. Done a few for Pathfinder. I think those will be the first ones I convert to 5th edition. And then seeing what Joe's decided to do with his Greyhawk stuff, I'm kind of thinking Greyhawk's not going to go DM's Guild at this point. I think we've been waiting for a couple years. Ghosts of Saltmarsh came out a year ago. Nothing really happened on the Greyhawk DM's Guild front. So I think I'm going to start getting back to work on my Bandit Kingdoms stuff that's either edition neutral or 5th edition, and just get it out there and start working on it, and maybe just drop it and do a similar thing, a Patreon or donations. I've already had to deal with Wizards of the Coast legal once before.
Yeah.
And while that went reasonably well, I don't want to be on the wrong side of it next time. So I think I'm just gonna, maybe create some fan content for the Bandit Kingdoms in 2020 and 2021 and see what
That
happens.
sounds awesome.
That is a good lead-in, Casey, because the Wednesday after next on Legends and Lore, Greyland Yard's Greyhawk in 5e. So
nice.
Joe Block
Ooh.
will be on Legends and Lore to discuss everything that he's doing in his conversions, plus some of his older stuff too. So yes, we've been landing some good guests lately. So I'm excited about him just talking about it. So that'll be the week from Sunday
Another
on.
Texas boy. Come on.
Yeah, actually, he lives in North Jersey. He lives in North Jersey
Oh.
now.
Thought
Yeah.
I missed that.
Well, that'd
So-
be great.
yeah.
I want to hear his thoughts on the subject.
Yep.
And there's a lot of us out there, I think, that we're waiting on DM's Guild. And I imagine that community, those of us who are waiting, are done waiting now that Joe's kind of been the first one to say, I'm done waiting.
Let's go to Jason. Thank you, Casey.
Hey, well, I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to this weekend. It'll be exciting to give a chance to play again after all these years. As far as some other stuff, I wanted to say with Casey, hopefully this year I wrote compiled a big index for Greyhawk references, and I'm trying to add Casey's book to it. It's a bit out of my hands because unfortunately my eyesight's really not up to the deep index work anymore, but I have a nephew who's going through the pages. I've actually had to take apart Casey's Bandit Kingdoms book page by page, so I'll be buying another copy once the charity starts up. But that is a book that will make you cry when you see all this material. It's a little synopsis of all the stuff that you can't play. So it's an amazing little thing. Hopefully stuff that Casey's going to get some of it out there on his own contributions out there in, 5th edition in Pathfinder. And then, I heard Anna talking, and I'd say I use Anna's maps every single day. So I can't think of anything that's perhaps the most useful Greyhawk tool for adventure design and scholarship. That is just it's just an invaluable addition.
It makes
Thank you.
it gives your campaign a feel of Greyhawk legitimacy, right? I mean, and Anna does such great unbelievable things for me and edits them. I mean, it's such an honor to have that for our campaign. And yeah, Jason, you're 100% correct. It is wonderful. The 576 map is just like everyone should just check that map out. It's just wonderful. It's got things on there that should be on there that weren't on there. You know, it's just it's great. So I just linked your Patreon in there. Best $5 you could spend, man.
And then
Absolutely.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
with Carlos DMing, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with Carlos's modules, but Castle Entertainment, you got to check these things out. They're fantastic.
And unfortunately, I don't have Carlos's Patreon linked in on his shout out as well. But Carlos, why don't you go next? And
Okay.
Okay.
I would like to give a shout out actually to, as I think I speak for all the DMs here when I say that we couldn't do this without the players. And so I would like very much to give shout outs to all the players, the ones here, Anna, Casey, Jason, and the ones out there that are going to be playing in our games like Tim. You guys are the lifeblood of the community. We're creators and we, you know, maybe we carry the torch online a little bit for it, but without the foot soldiers, people like Gaetano over there, that actually, you guys are the ones that are the blood and the foot soldiers of the movement. And without you guys, it's impossible. So that's my shout out. And I appreciate every single person that out there that, you know, is involved in this, you know, that makes this possible. And I think that's my shout out. As far as what I'm doing right now, I am elbows deep in writing modules for GaryCon and beyond. I'm writing I think I have 4 modules to do in 4 weeks. No sweat.
Whoa, no sweat.
No sweat.
No sweat. That's a pro right there.
Thank God they're Whitey and not Pathfinder.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Character description here.
They're all probably 50 to 70 pages. So one way or another, it's gonna be a crunch, but whatever.
Exciting.
Yeah, so I'm in the middle of doing that. A lot of them are going to be debuted at GaryCon, and in March. Let's try that again. In April, I'm going to be doing my own charity event, which is those of you who know me very well. I am a big enthusiast of animals, and in particular, the cheetah is the animal that I back. And CCF is Cheetah Conservation Fund. It does cheetah conservation in Namibia, Africa, and they're going to be this charity that Castle Entertainment sponsors this year in a week-long event where I'm going to be running instances of a module that I'm writing called Tears That Forever Stain. And I intend on having some guest players involved in it that you guys may or may not know from the community and the very underpinnings of the Greyhawk campaign. For those of you who want to participate in that, just drop me a note at castlentertainment@gmail.com. And if you're interested in playing or, you know, just want to know more about it, please get in touch with me. And I'm hoping it'll be a big success with the whole community's efforts behind it. You know, I think James, he mentioned it, and I know that Jay did. We don't do this on our own. You know, the community, it's important to have everybody behind it and everybody sharing stuff and everybody, their involvement is what makes this successful or a failure. So I'm looking forward this year. Last year I did about $500 on my charity, but I was a fledgling Twitcher at that point in time. I feel like I've got a lot more experience now, and I certainly know a lot more cool people in the community like you guys all that can that I know will be out there to support us. So hopefully you can see some cool things from Castle Entertainment coming forward. And the instant that I close this chat out, I will begin writing modules again.
Last year, I know Anna and I played in it, and now in Growy, and a lot of big names
that
played
was
in
fantastic.
It was awesome. And are you doing 4 nights, Carlos?
I'm probably going to do 6 this time.
Man.
I'm going to be starting on Friday. They'll probably start on Friday. and I will do at least one session every day for the exception of Monday that week.
Okay.
Although I may just blow off work and do one on Monday as well. But I will do, I'm going to do, I want to make sure that everybody that's interested in playing has a time slot. I don't want anybody to be able to look at me and say, man, I really would have played, but that day wasn't available to me or whatever. I'm opening it up so everybody can play. And besides, I've got a lot of cool people out there that I can include as guest players that I think will attract people to different sessions.
It's worthwhile, and if you haven't played with Carlos DMing, you need to. So
Goal for 2021 for me to get to Gary Con to see y'all.
Oh,
to
man,
do that.
I'd love to see you there, Casey.
Yeah.
I'll keep a spot
Fingers
open at my
crossed.
table for you for sure.
Well, I appreciate that.
Mike, what do you?
This has been a lot of fun right here.
Cool.
All of you answered my question that I wanted to ask at the beginning of the stream, and I just want to say to each and every one of you, it is a pleasure to meet you. This has been a lot of fun tonight, and honestly, if you guys want me to come into any of your games, I'd be honored. It would be a privilege for me to play in your games, for real.
Slave Lords is coming your way then.
I would
There you
love
go.
to take part
Be in
in
the works.
anything. So I work
Let me know
here.
when you're doing Slave Wars.
Oh, all righty. So looks like I got players already. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Open up my mouth.
being a particular enthusiast of a particular villain from A2, I would be very interested in playing in one of those
within
two, even though I'm not a 5e guy.
Oh, I'd be down. I did a blog post converting the A1 pre-gen characters to Pathfinder, and it's really neat looking at how
Gonna
they
get a
built
read
those
tonight
back
after
then.
we're done. I just
And
saw
my
it. I said,
character will
"Ooh."
commit
excellent.
seppuku before I allow myself to friggin' fall into the hands of Marquesa.
We're gonna bring you to the dark side, Carlos. We'll bring you to the dark side.
But yes, it's very nice to meet all of you, and it was this was a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to meeting the rest of you guys in real life at GaryCon. This is going to be super cool. I can't wait to sit down and just really talk D&D with all of you lovely people, and to hopefully do some art for you guys too. This would be great,
Mike, it's just the beginning. You know what I mean? The relationship is just starting with,
Absolutely.
you and I have known each other for a little while, but there's an entire community behind us that, well, I'll say some of that in my closing, but go ahead, Frank, finishing up.
I'm kind of going to echo Carlos a little bit. I definitely want to shout out to my players. But the players for this campaign that stepped up are the ones who are often making stuff happen in the background. There are artists, there are camera operators, there are other DMs for the channel, our other backup players, and so it's an opportunity that we get to watch them shine for a bit, and shout out to them for doing it for sure. So I agree. We would be nothing without the players, right? I do that for them. No offense to everyone watching. I try to I try to DM for my players, though, right?
Wow.
But we try to entertain too. And just for what's going on, you followed our channels, you will get notifications. You'll see we have games coming up, and we're prepping for this. We are prepping for this live stream, or for this mega stream.
It's Herculean. What everyone has done, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who participated and who's online and watching, and all the players and my crew, which my guys are all family guys. A Saturday night's difficult for a lot of my guys. Thank you for coming. I got a majority of them coming to play that night. Casey's driving down, my gosh, from New England to come play in it, and then is logging in, and we're going to have fun. I just hope everyone has the most fun possible and enjoys their stream, and everything else will fall into place. But it means a lot to me that you all trust me enough to coordinate all this and get this set up so that I'm hoping for a truly successful fundraiser event. I'm looking forward
thank you
to it.
And I was going to say, let's thank Jay.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really, without
Thank you,
you,
Jay, for doing
this wouldn't be doing,
Thank you.
So yeah, definitely. It's very, very cool. And that's another thing too, getting the community and everybody getting to know each other. You know, somebody said earlier, it is about the community. It is about getting with each other and just making all of our content, you know, approachable and acceptable and enjoyable for everybody. You know what I mean? And just having fun and enjoying the hobby.
I look forward to seeing you all and in all the events we're doing. You know, the stream, GaryCon, some other talk shows we have. I'll say this: I think that get back to Greyhawk with Anna and Will and Carlos and Casey, the hardcore people who've been around even longer, a lot longer than I have. Some of you is. It's a growing community. It is. A lot of people think that Greyhawk's a dead community. It's not really. What Wizards has done with it has not. We haven't gone forward, but we're keeping it going forward, and I'm really happy that another channel, including Mike Wilson's and even Lowe's and all these other channels that are out there, that Jimmy, you're going to do something Greyhawk. That's a big thing, man. Just getting them more Greyhawk content out there. I think that's huge. I think there's a lot of interest out there, especially, I'm not downplaying it. One of the other channels isn't really streaming that much anymore. There's a hole to fill. There's a definite hole to fill out there that people want Greyhawk content. I think this is a good jumping point. And, guys, all I can say is thank you. And,
thank you.
Let's look forward to a nice, fun Saturday morning through evening through Sunday morning. Because I have a feeling we're going to go. We'll I think go late. So
that's all right. I got Monday off work.
Yeah,
let's stay up.
It'll be a cool night, man. You hanging out at my place. It'll be awesome. Can't wait for it. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you so very much for tonight. Hopefully I see you all soon, and you can hang on if you want. As we talk over our, I'm gonna play that wonderful video by Frank right now. That I've put it out everywhere I possibly can in the world. So everyone, what a nice show tonight. Lots of people on. I know a lot of people are lurking because that's what our crowd does. But see you on everyone's streams. Check everyone's schedules out. Hopefully you followed everyone who's been on. Really appreciate it, and I'll see you guys all. We'll see you all Wednesday on our channel. Oh, look at that! Everybody. Oh, there's another 100 for the charity. Yeah. Oh, by the way, my guys.
Sidwee, thank you.
My guys will get those special hero points every 500. I don't care how many they get. Over and over and over on my stream, they'll utilize them.
Yeah, because you're gonna make them burn them.
Of course I am.
Yeah, you know he is.
Of course I am. Burn them or die.
You know he is. Oh, your healing
potion on the table. That's all I know.
Yeah. Have a good night. We'll see you all. See you all in a couple days.
Thanks for watching, folks.
Take care, guys.
You guys can keep on chatting them up, man. So. Oh, I know, Tim. You donated a lot to protect your own butt last year. I remember that. So
I didn't even think about that. If they want them, they just get donate for themselves.
Well, Tim put up the anonymous donate because there's a button you can put where it goes anonymous. So he's like, I didn't do it, but that's okay.
But I wanted to go to Tim.
I'm telling you, you should have the Hollywood Squares music playing right now. It's where it is.
We almost had a full 9. Almost had that squares. So
and we should have Tim on.
I asked Tim to come on, but Tim was obviously he wanted to stay in chat along with Bill, Tim and Bill. But that's okay. We had a nice Tim might be drinking.
Brady Bunch, yes, Amanda. A bunch of lovelies in chat tonight. Look at all these beautiful people. Thank you guys for coming.
Amanda Rue is actually my better half.
Oh, is she?
That's my Australian that runs Castle Entertainment. All I do right now.
My better half is Adam.
Well, you guys ever need any help with anything anything, you let me know. I'm always around. So
I'm checking out right now your
Landing
Facebook.
on
I'm
it.
stalking you right now on Facebook, and I'm so impressed with the minis. Yeah.
well, thank you very
Great.
much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I had no idea. I
appreciate it. Thank you.
Crafting
I'm flattered.
community, Mike included, is deep with a lot of great people. And,
Oh yeah, you guys need something, let me know. I know a lot of people.
It is. Mike is the cream of the crop, and there are.
Wow.
It's great that we're really making that tie-in, because with the miniatures are huge in gameplay, and Reaper has really stepped up with their partnership with Twitch and all the shows that they have now. So it's a vibrant community, and I know. Anytime they come in and they raid us during, it's huge boost for us too, and it's just it's great to see a company like that really pay attention to the smaller guys like all of us, right? You know,
It absolutely is, and it helps grow the community.
Yep.
I mean, it inspires. Anytime that you leak inspiration like those people do, you're gonna create good things.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm leaking all over the place, Mike.
Oh, I know you
got
are.
nothing to do with inspiration.
You, woo!
That's it, Will.
something you said I really liked earlier was about even if you can't contribute to the charity, just sharing it is good enough, because you may reach people that do.
Yeah, that's
you know,
spot on right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
I'll do one more ad, guys, as we keep this chat going. So go ahead. Yeah. Absolutely.
You said Legends and Lore is Joe. This
2 weeks.
Wednesday?
This week
2
is
weeks.
This week is Living Greyhawk Another Look. So there's the massive dice, guys. So I'll show you some of that.
Yeah, but no, that's right to the point. Sharing is caring, and it couldn't be more true. I know it's cheesy, but that is the way this community stays alive, is if you keep standing behind each other and supporting each other's streams.
You know what? Let me try and do that. Let's raid into Tabletop Notch. Okay. Or do you want to do? No. Let's do Indigo. Is Indigo on?
Looks like she. Yeah, she is.
All right.
Yep.
They're not finishing up. I just want to make sure.
Nope. I see them talking.
Okay.
Nice to meet everybody again. Take care, guys.
You
All right,
too.
Mike. We'll
Good
talk to you
luck.
soon. Thank you so
Wonderful.
very much.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Absolutely.
Let me set this up and get this going. Then we'll raid into her. That makes total sense, and then we'll call it an evening. Hope I can. Oops, I hit the wrong
You can
button.
do it,
Of course, I
Jake.
hit the wrong button.
You can have the faith in
Speaking
you,
of,
brother.
this is their newbie editions too, so it's all new, younger D&D players.
Oh, cool.
Oh, excellent.
Is it starting up?
Yeah, it sure is. Let's go raid these.
Stay on. Thought we'd have more than 28, but that's all right. Everyone have a great night. We'll see you soon.
Yep.